Mamma mia! Here we go again. Hi, how are you people? So nice to see you. Welcome everybody to the Introduction to Security class that we are not going to have hardware issues this year. Welcome. How are you people? Hi, how are you? We are here, people, again. So happy and so excited. There are so many things we are doing for this year class. That is an important moment for us. So welcome and welcome, Internet. Hi, Internet. How are you? If you don't know, right now the class is open online, and there are more than 1,000 people. I think 1,200 people in that camera there. So if you are watching this online, hi, welcome, wherever you are from the world. We are going to have the Introduction to Security class. This is class number 1. This is the beautiful image that did for us Fermín Valeros. Today is September 25. You have this document that I'm going to give you the link soon. Those are the credits for everything happened here, from the sticker to the 3D printer to the class, the documents, and everything. So thank you, everybody. Thank you also for the video and audio team that are working hard for us, like doing this thing in the middle of the class. Thank you, everybody. These are the links for this document, the most important one here. You should be in this document right now. Everything we are going to be doing is going to be in this document. It's going to be commands, copy, paste, explanations. This is the document of the class, OK? Every class, we are going to have a new document. And you have the rest of the links for everything. This is the main website. This is the matrix chatting system that also you should be there, because every question during the whole semester is going to be there. This is the CTFD, where you're going to be submitting your flags. This is the passcode form. I'm going to be explaining this for the mock students online. The feedback for every class is here. The live stream, that video right now that it's live on YouTube, it's in that link, so you can copy paste. The video introduction is there in that one, and the video recording playlist of the whole year is going to be in that playlist, OK? So before starting, there's live video there. If you don't want to appear on YouTube, just stay there and don't walk in front of the camera. That thing is like this angle, OK? So you already know. I am Sebastián García, one of the teachers of the Introduction to Security class, BSY. We are going to be introducing the rest of the team soon. This is the first class out of 14 classes that we are going to have during the whole semester. For everybody, it's going to be this class every Thursday, also online. We are going to be recording the video, and I'm going to be publishing the online video in the playlist after 1 day or 2. So actually, you can watch this class remotely, live, and then you can watch it later in the weekend or something, OK? So the goal of this class is to introduce the class and organizational information, to start with the basic concepts of security and network protocols. This is the second time we opened this class online for everybody in the world, and we have a very, very, very positive experience last year. So this is the second time we are going to be doing this. Actually, there are many of you here. We have the official students of FEL. Then we have a lot of people coming from abroad and other universities. Then we have the people registered in the lifelong learning. We have the students of the Prague AI Master. If you are here, welcome. And we have all the people on the internet. So there are like 5 or 6 different classes altogether. Yeah, so welcome everybody. I'm going to tell you a little bit. This class and all of us teachers are part of a laboratory called Stratosphere Laboratory that you can find online. In Stratosphere, we actually work a lot doing cybersecurity, AI, machine learning, like honeypots analysis, attack, defense, many things, and we publish research and tools, and you can find online. We belong to this laboratory, OK? And you can see the page there. About the teachers, so I'm going to do a small intro about me, and then you are going to be up, guys, to talk. This one. We don't have the die, right? Oh, OK. So we are going to tell you, who wants to start? Me? OK. So I am Sebastián García. I'm from Argentina. Have been living here for a long time, working in Ph.D. I love cybersecurity in general. We have been working in this for many different topics. I really like the research part. I really like the playing, the attacking, the defending. I like to go and do stuff, make it happen. I also like to play squash and paddle, if you know paddle, not paddle, but this paddle, like squash paddle. I like to walk. From time to time, I like to run. I'm going to stop here.
Hi, I'm Maria Rigaki. I'm from Greece, and I'm doing here my PhD with Sebastian. I'm about to finish, so in a couple of months I'm defending. And what I'm working on is offensive applications of machine learning and AI in cybersecurity. And yeah, I'm one of the TAs here in the class, and I will be happy to assist and help you in any questions you have.
Okay, I'm Veronica Valeros. I'm from Argentina as well. I'm doing a lot of things, but now I'm a fresh PhD student starting in September here at CTU. I'm also doing a master in remote in Liverpool John Moores University. I also run the lab, the Stratosphere laboratory with Sebastian. And right now I'm focusing on cyber deception for intelligence collection. So my PhD is going to be on that. Yeah, I will leave it there.
Thank you. My name is Lucas. I am based here in Prague. Previously, I was a solution architect in some multiple different companies. Now I'm running my own alongside with Martin, another teacher. We are ReconWave, and we do cybersecurity.
Hello everyone, my name is Andre. I'm also a PhD student in Stratosphere. I work in AI and security, namely in explainability. So I'm trying to understand what and why the models are behaving the way they are. And apart from working in AI and cybersecurity, I really like to travel, cook, and do all sorts of sports, mainly football, but basically everything that goes. So yeah, I'm also here to help with any problems or questions that you might have during the class. So feel free to ask.
Yeah, hi, I'm the last one, so don't worry. And my name is Martin, and well, yeah, to you. And I'm gonna help you with STL and other stuff if you have some issues. I like hacking, attacking, and understanding stuff. And by the way, I'm also alumni of this class myself, also with Lukáš. I remember it was super fun, and it's very different from every other class you might have had or will have, so I hope you will have fun. You can go crazy and hack, and yeah, have fun.
We hope. And who is doing Moody's? We need a Moody's. Oh, he's writing. Oh, I cannot see. So Moody's, that is not here. He's traveling for research. I will read what he put in there. PhD student at AI Center, focusing on cyber defense and deception using generative AI. He enjoys traveling, playing music, writing, and puzzle games. He will be also here with you next time. And now he's in Matrix, right? So, a little bit of class dynamics. How are we going to do this? So, this is a very hands-on, very practical class. You are going to be doing every time. Our principle is that we can tell you a lot of things and you can read a lot of things, but if you are not doing people, if you are not literally typing in the keyboard, you are not going to be learning, even if you are watching your friend doing or watching us. So, the idea is not for anyone, including the internet, watching what we are doing because you can like a video, but to do. This is a moment for you to break, to take stuff and make it fail, to attack, to defend, to try things, to install and uninstall or whatever, okay? This is the moment. So if something is being shown, go try. Maybe it doesn't work for you, right? Maybe you find different things. So hands-on is the way we are gonna be doing. The whole class, the 14 weeks, it's about a methodology for how to attack, doing pen testing, and how to defend, kind of a methodology of defense. So we are going to be having classes that are only attacked, and then you're going to be defending that, and then attack, and then defend, and attack, and defend. Everything we are going to be doing is real, and it's going to be work in real networks and real computers. You can see the whole syllabus there if you didn't already. And a little bit is going to be like this. We are going to be starting with reconnaissance, then network analysis, so attacking on top, defending on the bottom, access, exploiting, then detecting intruders and deception, privilege escalation, exploiting, VMs, threat intelligence, binary exploit, fuzzing, reverse engineering, automation, malware, command and control detection, and web attacks. Something that you don't see there is that this year, for the first time, we are kind of crossing every class with some AI concepts. Sometimes it's going to be a tool, sometimes it's going to be a principle, sometimes it's going to be a way of doing things. But we are going to try that in a lot of places to show you how AI can help you or not help you do things, okay? If you have any question during any moment of the class, please interrupt and say, I have a question right now. Don't wait until the end. Don't wait to write this down. Questions are in the moment, okay? If you cannot understand what we are saying, also say, I have no idea what you are saying. We will deal with that. If something is not working in the computer, you just raise your hand, and anybody of us will go to you and solve it in the place, okay? Do not wait for this to happen later. This is the moment. So, at the end of this subject, you should have an understanding of the principle of security, how the basic attacks and defenses are done, and defend against them, and how to analyze attacks in the network, okay? Very roughly, that's everything that you're going to see. But you're going to find out that there is a lot. And actually, after this class, you should be kind of in a junior pen testing position, and a lot of people got jobs after this doing this, okay? For the people on the internet, you are chatting us on Matrix, and everybody's checking the Matrix. So ask the questions there, and we will do our best to answer them. So class modalities. I was telling you a little bit about this before. That it's, we have the CTU students, like taking a master or a bachelor here. Then we have the Prague AI masters. Can I know who are the Prague AI masters here? Oh, look at them. Hi, people. So nice. Having listening about you for a long time. So welcome here. The LLL, the lifelong learning professional tier students, also on the internet, and the MOOC free tier students also on the internet. So this group of people, this is important. Every time doing things that we say, this is for CTU students, we meant CTU, Prague AI, and the lifelong learning people on the internet of the professional tier. All of you have Dockers in our infrastructure. That's why we say the CTU students. If you are taking the class with the SCL, the StratoCyberLab, and you have a Docker in your computer, then you are a MOOC student, okay? We are going to say, this is for MOOC students, this is for CTU students. Clear? Got you. And you can see exactly what you're going to be using here, the CTU Cyber Range, our own on the StratoCyberLab, what's going to take to complete the coursework, weekly assignments for all the CTUs. So every week you're going to have a hacking assignment that you have several days to do. And in the case of the MOOC students of the internet, submit the correct passwords every week. That means that for the MOOC students, in some moment of the class, we are going to show a passcode, and then on the internet, you have to go to this form that we put before in the link and say the password for this class was, I don't know, handkerchief. And then that's how we know that you saw the class. This is a very basic check to give you the certificate of participation, certificate of completion, yes. If you don't know also, for the people of the lifelong learning, we, for the first time ever, push the university to offer an official CVUT certificate, EU valid, for people abroad if they complete this class as a lifelong learning. And that was huge. It took a lot of politics around, but now anybody in the world that completes this class, including the exam, will have an official CVUT certificate for this class. So to pass the class, so this is to complete the coursework. To pass the class, you have to do the final exam or the bonus assignment, all the CVUT students, and the free mock students do not have to take the exam, so no fun exam for you. And what you have is credits in the case of you, also in the case of the Prague AI Master students, and then the official CHBUT certificate for the lifelong learning, and the certificate of completion issued by StratoSphere for the free tier, okay? Complex. Oof, we have to make a table for that. Questions? Anybody? Internet questions? No? Sure? Okay, there you go. So, teaching methodology. We are going to be doing this class every Thursday. Please check to Google Calendar if you want, and you can add this in your calendar, from 2:30 to 5:45. We are saying this because this is Prague time. People of the internet, you are all over the world. Check that this is Prague time, and pay attention that actually in October 30 onward, the time zone changes here. So we are going from CES, that is +2, to SET, that is +1. So please, wherever you are in the world, check that you're in the correct hour. We have some issues last year, okay? If you don't know, you just can go to Time is Prague, and they will tell you what time it's in Prague right now, okay?
We have a question from the internet. Can people from the online class from Eventbrite, like the free students, can change tiers, sorry?
Change tiers. Yes, you can, but you need to talk to us. So you tell us, and then we, with the team, make all the arrangements behind the scenes, okay? So please contact us in the correct place, which is Matrix, okay? We are going to go there, but you can contact there, no issue. We have, you can do private channels with all the teachers. Always talk to all of us. Never please talk only to one of us, all of us together, and then we can make the arrangement internet.
And the people from the internet is asking if there are exams from other years that they can take somehow to practice.
So, unfortunately, our exam is actually extremely practical, or fortunately. It means a lot of infrastructure running for a long time. So it's not that you can download an exam. It's not a written exam. It's a practical exam. So unfortunately, no, you cannot have exams from last years. But we are doing a huge effort to put all and more assignments in the SCL, so you can have there all the challenges. And this year we have a very special announcement for the SCL that is like, how is the name, Martine, of the Miros challenge? Is called the storyline? No. But a campaign. There is a campaign that is new, and the campaign in the SCL done by Miroslav, it's extremely nice, large, and complex. So that is actually more than an exam if you want to try internet. Questions? I have one chocolate for if somebody makes a question. Or I eat it. No? The CTU students, if the CTU students get the certificate too. So you mean the certificate of completion or the official CHBUT certificate? Official. You do not, because CHBUT considers that you get the credits already, so that's counting for your yes.
I mean, you will get the diploma when you graduate. That it includes
hopefully,
this.
right? Hopefully. If you no, they will, right? No, they will, for sure. I have faith in you.
We had cases that students need some reference, or they want to put it on LinkedIn, and then we can talk one-to-one.
Yeah, but that being said, you can register in the lifelong learning CHBUT, and then you can take even this class for that certificate, right? There you go. How was your name? Wojciech. 1, 2, 3. We are so good, Wojciech. There you go. So, study material. Classes are going to be live streamed on YouTube. I already told you. Video recordings of each class are going to be available within 24 hours. We believe also in you, our amazing video team. We use the Google Docs. Why we use Google Docs? Well, that's a decision. But First, you can make a copy of this document. Well, not now, because we have like 1,000 people there, and we reach the limits of what Google Docs can do. So we have pop-ups saying you cannot do this. But later on, you can copy the document, which is yours. You can take notes. You can change stuff. You can put whatever. It's extremely, extremely easy. Also, because you can copy-paste the commands, so you don't have to listen to me saying htop, pipe, awk, pipe, grep, and then you are typing, which is very weird. You can copy-paste directly there, and then you can use them. Also, it's a live document, so any bug we have, we can fix in real time, and happens many times. And also, we can put a step-by-step of everything you do, so you can follow. Actually, the people is taking this class in any moment of the year. They just see the video online, they have the document, and they follow step by step, and all the commands work in the SCL in any moment of the year. So that's why we have the document. Yes, and also because you can see the whole class before coming here. So you go to the document of the next class, and then you check, and then you can say, oh, I know all these topics. I'm not going to go to the class. We are fine with that. Or you can say, oh, there is something here I want to read more. And then you read more. So you can actually see everything that you're going to learn before coming here, okay? That's the whole key of taking your education in your own hands. Go and see what you can learn. So, CyberRange for CTU students. Each student will be assigned a personal Docker container. You already are in there, I believe. All of you should have your own personal Docker in our infrastructure, which is crazy infrastructure, sorry. It's in our servers. You will connect to your container via SSH from your laptop or whatever you are using. Each container is personal, only for you. Please don't share it because you may regret it. This is an attack class after all. And it's your responsibility, okay? So take care of it. If it's, like if you store a lot of files, you're going to run out of space. If you delete everything, yes, it happened. People delete everything. You lose your Docker, and then we need to recreate it, okay? So take care of your Docker, and you will have to defend your Docker, So that's the best way to learn.
Let me say that again. You all individually get one Docker to each of you, CTU students. You get one Docker for you, okay? Do not delete the whole Docker. This happens every year. You go and then you do rm-rf/ and all your Docker is broken. And you often do this before some deadline or assignment. And we cannot be there 24/7. So please, it's a safe environment for you to try and to play and to break things. But be careful that we are not, we need to sleep as well. So we will do our best to recreate it, but you might lose data, right? We cannot, if you delete everything, you delete everything. Yeah? Clear?
So you will attack other Docker containers. The Docker containers of your friends are in the same network, and this is an attack class. You can attack whoever you want inside this network. So that's up to you. And your goal as an attacker is not to be detected. Your goal as a defender is to detect all the attackers, okay? I'm talking very general for the whole class. So, the CyberRange for the mock students, that's you, Internet. Mock students will use our amazing StratoCyberLab. If you don't know about this is a program started, created, maintained by Martin and many people contributing that you download to your computer, git clone, and then you have in your computer the whole environment, network, with Dockers, with assignments, with flags, everything running and offline. So you can do this without internet. Once you download, that's it. You don't need internet anymore. You just attack, do things, whatever, scan, and everything. It's an amazing way to learn during the year or if you're traveling or something. If you're here sitting, you already have your CTU Dockers, but you can also use this one, right? For the people on the internet, that's the only laboratory we are providing. So it uses yes, orchestrate Docker. You can practice, submit flags, and receive the LLM assistance, because this is also one of the first environments that Martin put an LLM there, a local, offline, only in your computer AI that you can chat and you can ask questions, and it will help you attack and defend better, right? Actually, I have it here, and I can show you. So this is the main page of the StratoCyberLab, and you should do something like that. And then you have here the AI assistants, and you can manage the models and download any model you want. And here you have the classes. You will see the classes one after the other, and you have challenges, and you have the campaigns that Miro was doing, and many, many more, okay? And here in the bottom, you have your terminal, and this is the terminal that you are going to be using, okay? So whatever you do, you can do here, and it should work. This is local in a Docker in your computer. If you delete this one, nobody cares because it's a Docker, okay? So we are going to be using both without distinction. And you must have this online if you want to take the class, okay? So, communications. Yes, go. They can, yes. You can SSH from any place in the world. Yes, including the ISS, if you can go there, probably. And there you go. And for your question, I have a Mando 3D printed homemade Domazzi Mando for you. You have 1, 2, 3. You save it just in time. There you go. So, if you need to ask something, always use the general public Runge matrix. Do not message us directly unless it's private. And let me assure you, almost nothing is private. Private is you are in the hospital, okay? Like less than that, please do not chat us privately for, oh, I have an issue. No. You have channels for all the questions, okay? Only if really you have private data to share with us, you chat us privately. Yes, always chat with the teachers. Do not touch individually, I say that. Please ask questions during the class, I say that. And yeah, always be sure, however you reach us, email, chat, that all of us are listening, okay? So we can share the tasks. Now, requirements and gradings. Assignments for CTU students, that's you people. Almost every week, there will be an assignment to do at home. The assignment is a challenge that you have to solve in your CTU cyber range, okay, from your own Dockers. You have to do something. The points for each assignment are given when the flag is being found. If anyone here is playing CTF, it's a CTF, it's a capture the flag, you have to find the flag. The flags have a special format that is like this, BSY, curly brackets, something in the middle, curly brackets. Then you know that you found the flag. When you found the flag, you say, oh, I found the flag. And then you can go to the CTFD. That CTFD, please also need to register, or they're registered already, right? Yeah, they have an account there, and then you submit your flags. When you submit, you can see the flag if it's correct or not, and points will appear in the scoreboard, and you can see everybody in the scoreboard, so you can see who is solving what. You are not required to submit your flags every week. There is a deadline for the flags, okay? It's not super fast. But we encourage you to do as soon as possible, because we are going to be doing a lot of assignments with different deadlines, and if you start doing this like in a month, you're going to be very lost. You're going to have a lot to do, and it's extremely hard to go back to the classes. So if you can, do them. The deadlines are finite, no late submissions. Actually, it's automatic, it closes, and bye-bye. However, we have Pioneer prizes. So what are Pioneer prizes? Pioneer prizes is every class that we have an assignment, at 8 p.m. that day, we open the CTF. The first one to finish the assignment gets a prize. And the prize is a nice prize, like hardware thingy that you take home with you. Nice ones. And that is for the first one. So you can do it whenever you want. The first one, get a prize. So that's why we have the Pioneer prizes there. In each class, we are going to give you some clues, and then you are on your own. And submission is, oh, sorry, I'd say 8, I meant 9, okay, after the class. So you have time to go home, get some good internet, speed, or coffee shop, or kill your opponents, whatever. Okay, questions? So, assignments for mock students. The mock students online, in the StratoCyberLab, I already told you, you have many assignments there, including the campaign of Miro. You can do these ones. You can go slowly doing these ones. These are not graded, so we are not going to grade you remotely, okay? We are going to do an effort to put more and more and more during the year, and we are going to be doing our best, okay? Questions online? Just tell me. So, grading now. all the information about the grades is in one location, that it's in our page, and I'm going to go there. So this is our main page, and I will make bigger. So you have all the information in the web page. I'm just going to go to the grading, assignments, the classes, and everything, assignment rules, the exam, that we are going to be talking exam later, don't worry. Grading scales. So that is the scale. You have an F if you have less than 50 points, and then E, D, C, B, and A, like usual grades. And this is the way we are going to be working in the points. During the year, you will have assignments. These assignments, when you solve the flag, are going to give you points. And you get points, 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 points. If you have more than 30, you approve the class, Sapochet in Czech. You just have the courseware approved, not the final exam, okay? And then, after 40 points, whatever is more than 40 points, you can take to the final exam. So if you did 50 points, 10 of those points you can transfer to the final exam, and you have an easy time. It's like, yeah, you are almost there. During the exam, you need to do more than 50 points. Less than 50 points, you don't approve. More than 50, you approve. And then you have all the grades, E, D, C, B, A. Okay? Questions with the grades? Yes, if you take 10, then you need 40 more to do. No?
I will first explain. First, repeat the question. The question was if the 10 is added in the beginning of the exam or at the end. The answer is it's any extra points are added to the end of the exam, so you need to pass the 50, and then whatever you have extra is added on top.
Thank you very much. So I was completely incorrect. See, the good way not to believe me. Thank you, Andra. And there you go. You have a mando already, so you have.
We realized that this is well, more pressing when the exam period comes, so we will also show it in the last class before the exam and repeat the exact grading procedure.
Tell this many times, don't worry. So, bonus assignments for CTU students, that's you. There is an option to not to go to the final exam. What? That is doing the bonus assignment at the end of the year. When December comes and you're ready for, you know, the Svarsak and the wine and the Christmas, we are going to offer the option to do a bonus assignment. The bonus assignment is a little bit longer, takes some days, it's another infrastructure with servers and flags and everything. If you solve the bonus assignment, which is good in your own time, having your wine and whatever, then you don't go to the exam. Bye-bye, you just don't come. We highly suggest you take the bonus because you're relaxed in your own time, you can read, use ChatGPT, we don't care, and you solve the exam. If not, you can come to the exam, no problem, but then it's going to be time constrained, okay? The exam is like 2 hours hard. Yes, grading for mock students. Questions, yes. Yes, how many points you get when you do the bonus assignments compared to the points of the exam that are these 50, right? Did I get it correctly? So it's the same scale. You need the exact same amount of points because the bonus assignment and the exam, it's very, very similar. So it's the same grading. Please correct me, Ondro?
Yeah, it's the same scale.
Come to the internet people so they can see you.
Yes, for the bonus, we will explain in detail when we launch it, but generally the content is very similar. Since you have more time than in the exam, the threshold for passing is a little bit higher, but we will announce it in the beginning of December. Usually the passing threshold is around 65 points in contrast with the exam, which is 50. So it's a little bit more, but you have your own time. You can work on your own pace. You are not pressed as in the exam. Follow-up question, which I'm sure some of you will want to ask, so I will answer it right away, is what happens when you try the bonus and you are not happy with the result? You can still come to the exam and try for the better grade. Whatever is best, you will keep, right? So it's not resetted. Once you reach some grade, you can keep it, or you can try again for a better one if you wish so. Sorry? Yes?
Sorry, what was the question?
If the limit was 100 points, like the maximum amount of
Maximum
points is 100.
100, yes.
Yes, and
Repeat.
The question was if the exam is binary, like 100 or nothing. No, of course you are collecting points in the exam and also in the bonus assignment for specific steps. So you can get anything between 50 and 100. It's up to your answers in the exam.
It's a practical hands-on CTF. It's like a very long CTF with many things to do.
The question was, what is the format of the exam? It's very similar to the assignment, so it's a hands-on assignment. Usually in the CTFD, there might be some questions where you need to just provide answer, not a flag. But generally, it's very hands-on oriented to what we practice in the class and in the assignments. Yes. The format is very similar.
In the bonus, you have a deadline that we're going to tell you. Yes, and that's it. We don't care. Yeah, we are going to go to all the details closer to the bonus. There are more details, yeah.
Just for the internet people, all the assignments and exams are for CTU students.
Yes, this is CTU.
For the online students, the only thing that you care about is the passcode of the class,
this
okay?
One. Yeah.
No assignments. You can solve the assignments on the StratoCyberLab for learning.
Yeah.
Yeah?
So, you need the secret password to have the points of this class online people. Okay, mock students, you need to have the password of every class, including this one. It's not going to be in the document because we are smart, so you cannot search for that. And you can see the class live or later the recording, we don't care. And when you see the password, then you can put it in this link here and you verify that you did the class, okay? And then you will receive a copy of your submission via email saying, yeah, you have it correctly. So, online, you can only miss 2 classes. Online people, only 2 classes, you are allowed not to put the correct password. That means from the 14 classes, you need to have the correct password for 12 to have the certificate of completion, okay? I highly encourage online people that you make an effort to make the time to be here every Thursday looking live if you can. We know a lot of people that took the class last year that they ask permission at work to see the class, they stay at home, they make groups to see the class together. If you can do that, it's going to work very nice because 14 weeks is a lot and you need the encouragement and the motivation to sit there and actually do it, okay? So that's up to you. Do not share the passwords of the codes with anybody. Online people, Matrix. Do not share the password, okay? It's one of the easiest ways to get you kicked out of the class, to share the password with anybody on Matrix. And do not publish the passwords of the classes, okay? So, password time. We are gonna put the password of this class for online student, and the password is polarized. Polarized, okay? That's it. The password is chicken? No. The password is umbrella? No. Because then you have the automatic translation of the audio on YouTube. Ah, so smart. So now you have many passwords to search on the translation. The previous was the correct one. So, class ethics, okay? Since this class will teach real attacks and defenses, by taking the class, you are committing to the following. You will not attack others on the internet from the Dockers we give you, okay? You will not, okay? We don't care if it's by mistake or not. If you attack somebody on the internet from your Dockers, you're out of the class. This is serious. Attack the assignment servers, the CTF servers, the Matrix servers, or any server of the infrastructure. If you attack the infrastructure on purpose, also you're out of the class. Attack other services and services in the university. Don't do that, okay? If you do that, it's very easy, you are out of the class. Use Dockers for tasks other than the class, like crypto mining. Believe us, we can realize this, and you are also out of the class, okay? What you can do is you can attack from the internet to the Dockers, and you can attack from the local network to other students' Dockers in the network, okay? That's okay, and you can. The real question is, can you? We'll see. So, code of conduct. We expect all participants here and on the internet, this is for you internet too, to engage in a respectful and positive manner, okay? Please. So the following behaviors are strictly prohibited in the class, on the chat, or in any online interaction, including the video chats on YouTube. Any aggressive behavior, any bullying, any harassment of any kind, it's not tolerated. Disrespectful or derogatory language towards others also is not tolerated, okay? So if you're taking the class online, I don't care where you are, it doesn't matter, please go by these rules. Do not do this on our Matrix channel. All students must communicate with respect, understanding, and empathy. Any violation of the core, of course, may result in immediate removal from the course and disqualification for participating in future courses. In summary, please be excellent to each other, okay, internet? So, failure to comply to this rule will take you out of the class, at least because ChBUT can do whatever they want, so don't do that. So, we have the break here. I'm not sure if it's break time exactly. I think we have a little more, right? At 20. Okay, so let's do the break anyway, and then we continue. So every class, we're going to have two breaks of 10 minutes. One is going to be now, one later, okay? So let's have the break and see you back here at 3:21. Also internet. 10 minutes, go get something. Okay, we are going to be starting, people. Internet, if you are there, go back, take your food or whatever you have. So, we are going to jump now, after this intro, on some real topics, so you can actually get into security. The first one is going to be the basics of security, okay? So, question for you. Why are you doing security? Why security? Why security is important, societally talking? Why are you here? Who are you? Who am I? So, who wants to answer? Why security? Not why you do security, but why? It's an important topic, right? We care about our privacy. That's a good one, actually. We do. Or recently, we do, right? Yeah. I not long ago heard that actually the word privacy is actually very, very new in the context, that no more than 30 years ago, it meant completely other things, right? And we use things like intimacy, for example, right? So kind of we changed the meanings of the word. And a little bit, yeah, go. Sorry, can you repeat an attack? Exactly. Not only about privacy, but about stopping others from attacking, right? So I agree with this. And the thing with security is that even if you like it or if you don't like it, it's touching, it's connected, it's influencing many, many other topics around. So even if you don't care about security and you have a company that is, I don't know, building houses, at some point you start caring about security. Because they can get into your company and you hear there are data leaks and this thing called ransomware, and then they are calling you in the phone trying to get your password, whatever that is. So the point is that whatever you're doing in this modern world, whatever you're doing in a company, at some moment security is going to hit you. You need to know it. You need to get into the topic. So because it's related to so many things, it's stopping many things to happen, right? And then you have a lot of things that could be awesome, but we don't have them because of security problems, okay? So security is this part of our society and technological world. So pillars of security. We like to say that there are 4 pillars of security. The first one is confidentiality. So who can tell us, what is confidentiality? We are so smart. What is confidentiality? Security of the data. Do you agree with, how's your name? Natalia, do you agree with Natalia? Security of the data? Security of anything. Whoa, that was like very generic. Do you agree with Natalia and, how is your name? Mania? He does not. He's like, no, no, no. So, what is confidentiality? You cannot access the data if you are not allowed. Actually, that's a little bit closer. When you're doing confidentiality, we say that ensures data, so data is there, accessibility is only for those authorized. So you need to access the data. It's not anything. It's like getting into reading the data, not even understanding, but not for everybody, because you have attackers and you have defenders. So it's only for those that are authorized. And that capability we call the confidentiality. Typically, if you want to keep the confidentiality, you can do things like encrypting the data. And that encryption is stopping others from reading, oh no, we lost the flag, without authorization. So that is a way of doing this. Questions? What about integrity? What is integrity? Sorry, found out? If somebody changed the data. Do you agree with Matoush? Do you agree with Matoush? Find out if somebody changed the data. Yes, yes, we have a lot of yes, 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 yes. So we say that maintaining the accuracy and completeness of the data, like you were saying, is part of the integrity. So it's this thing. It's not only the changing, because there are many things to change, but also is maintaining this completeness. Sometimes it's deleting, sometimes it's adding, sometimes it's changing, and also by whoever is authorized. Some people is authorized to change, some people is not authorized to change. If I have the authorization and I change something, it's not that I break the integrity. I mean, I'm authorized to do that, right? If I don't have the authorization and I change something, then somebody can say that the integrity of the data was compromised. What about availability? And I'm lost with my gifts. I'm not sure. Matush, and there's somebody, and Natalia also there, and oh no, we lost one. And yeah, we are running out of chocolates. You recovered? Okay. Availability? No? So, availability, we say that we guarantee that the data is accessible when needed. Whatever that means, if there is a data and you need to access it to read or to delete or to whatever, and you can do it and you have authorization, we say that there is availability. If you cannot do it, I don't care the reasons. Do you see? I don't care if you have a DDoS attack, if somebody stole your computer. If you cannot access data, we have an availability problem.
I have some feedback from the internet.
Yes.
Availability is ensuring that the data is available whenever needed by an authorized user.
I agree 100%. And also, you have ChatGPT people, so I'm not sure why you're searching for this. So, the last one, a little bit weird, the fourth one called non-repudiation. This is the ability to prevent that anybody is denying that the data or the action belongs to them. So, this is like, you cannot send an email and then say, oh, it was not me, right? So we have measures to stop that. And that we call non-repudiation. So these are the fourth pillar of security, very high level. whatever you do attacking in security, I don't care what it is, whatever you do is going to hit one of these, okay? That's why they're called the pillars, the basics. So, in confidentiality, technically we say the information is not made available or disclosed to unauthorized individuals, entities, or processes. That is from Wikipedia, right? And going for the first time to the AI view, what AI has to say about here, what is like the impact? Well, the idea is that AI so far cannot directly help you to break any encryption faster. So far, we have some things going on there. But in general, no, you cannot do that. And then AI right now cannot help you break this confidentiality in a better way. Can help you in some attacks that break confidentiality, but not directly, okay? So that's good for defenders. In the case of integrity, the official definition is maintaining and assurance the accuracy and the completeness of the data, cannot be modified or unauthorized without authorization. Hashing functions are a way here, SHA-256, 75, or others, are a way to verify the integrity. So you hash, and then you confirm, okay? And hashes we are using for signatures and encryptions and things like that. In the AI view, so far, AI also cannot help you to create collisions in hash functions. So if you have hash functions, one of the attacks you can do is to have two different pieces of data that they have the same hash. That's called a collision. And that's actually bad, because you want this to be unique. There are many methods to, I'm not sure if many, but there are some methods to provoke these collisions in some algorithms, but so far AI that did not show any special capability for doing this. So AI cannot help you in that one more. And in availability, we say that the computing systems are used to store and process information, the security controls used to protect it, and the communication channel used to access it must be functioning correctly. Anything that is not working correctly and you don't have authorization, then you have an availability issue. In this way, from the AI view, well, AI may on purpose make something not available if it has the chance. This happened in the past. So maybe AI can help you a little bit to make something not available. For example, better DOS attacks. We can do that with AI. And finally, in non-repudiation, neither party can deny sending, receiving, or accessing data. And in this sense, also AI cannot deny sending after syncing with a private key, or public key, so nothing there that AI can help. Now we have two more pillars, the transversal pillars, that are authentication and authorization. So who can tell us what is authentication, what is authorization? I have more chocolate and a mando. This mando, these are homemade, the mando. Mando, yeah. Wait, again, authorization is? What can they do? And authentication is? If they can even enter. Do you agree with? Authentication if we are who we are, but you say persons. What about robots? They don't authenticate? So they do authenticate. Okay, there you go. So robots and people only, mostly robot, but yes. So, anybody else? Something more to add? No? Okay, there you go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, we have something in the back. Yes, go. To prove that we can act in the role that we are allowed to. That is authentication. So be careful here. In authentication, there are no roles. There is no checking of roles. That is authorization, okay? So when you're doing authentication, this ability to confirm with a high degree, because this is not perfect, nothing is perfect, the certainty that whoever is trying to get into something data indeed are who they say they are, okay? Examples of authentication mechanisms. Who can tell us? Username and password. Passkeys. Public keys. Multi-factor authentication. Fingerprint scan. Huh? Face ID. Yeah, you were saying Face ID. She was faster. I'm sorry. Face ID. Retina scan. Hands, all the biometric. We have many, okay? And then we have 2, 3, 4-factor authentications. All of those are only to show that if we can authenticate you. Once you are in, then we have authorization. And here, we check what you're authorized to do, your role. We say like, oh, you cannot delete the database, or yes, you can delete the database, and things like that. So from the AI view, actually, AI can help you brute force in a smart way, or, for example, change your face for age verification, and you can follow the link. I'm not sure if you know, some countries around the world are forcing the age verification. I hope it's not coming a long way. So in a lot of places, you cannot even go to sites if you are not having an age verification. And that means usually like a camera rotating and talking, and then the government says, yes, you are more than 18 or not. So that was already broken. Actually, with a game, somebody was using a game with an AI to break this and say that they were more than 18. So like always, that's not working. I hope that's not work. In authorization, AI so far cannot directly help you change this directly, only normal attacks, okay? So, question, what is an attack, right? We are doing security, introduction to security, cybersecurity, attacks, defense, so we need to know this one. So what is an attack? Oh, she's good. If it harms one of the pillars that we saw before, whatever they are, right? That's actually, well, I cannot say no to that one. The pillars are involved. I agree with that. But what is harm? Now you need to define what is harm. Because harm is a human thing. Wait. Let her finish. No, harm. Not what, but what is harm? What do you mean with harm? No, attack under attack is a recursive one. Okay, we have something here. No, yes. Malicious intent. I really like that. Why you are malicious if you are a spy? Do you have good spies? Do you have good spies too? Whistleblowers are spies? We don't know. I'm not going to go there. But we have malicious intent. Do you agree with, how was your name? Adam, do you agree with Adam? Malicious intent? Yes? No?
We have input from the internet.
Internet.
An action aiming to harm an IT system. And an attack is a way where we try to get access by passing or brute forcing some trial. Some
trial. So actions to harm. Be careful with this definition because harm are kind of human things. A lot of people, including the legal people, will say that a lot of things you cannot harm. Maybe you can damage. I'm not sure about this one. It's super easy to put like anthropomorphizing this. And the second one was attacking an IT system. No, was a...
Attack is a way where we try to get access by passing or brute forcing, let's say, a system.
Okay, that's one type of attack, but there are many others, right? So usually I do this example that say, imagine that from my computer, I send one packet in the network, one packet to Lukashi, one packet, and his computer completely dies, completely power off. I'm attacking Lukashi or not? Yes. Show of hands, yes or no? Who says I'm attacking Lukashi? Adam is good. Who says I was not attacking Lukashi? Some people was in the middle. Huh? No, hey, see, we have some. No, I did not. I mean, his computer is a little bit shitty. I'm not change it or something. I send one packet, check your setups. It's not an attack, right? And the answer, like Adam was saying, is depends on the intention. If I wanted to do that, it's an attack. If I didn't want to do that, it's not. That's how hard it is. Attacking depends on the intentionality. And that's so important that you can go and check. Many times in court, the judge sends people to jail or not based on the intentionality. I don't care if your program does or not. If you have intentionality and the judge believes you have intentionality, that was an attack and you go to jail. So we are not going to go to the legal things. There are many legal things in here, including what are the laws of the country, stuff like that. But in general, depends on the intentionality, okay? So, yes, and we have then the difference with normal traffic. We are going to see this in TCP dump. Now that we have an idea what is an attack, some malicious intent should be there. And let me say this again. It's a good thing that the attack does not depend only on the ones and zeros and the bytes. Can you have a snort suricata rule detecting an attack? Of course you can. And you go and you do a regex for some exploit. And that is an attack. But imagine that I'm now sending an email to Maria with a malware. It's a very bad malware. And you run some antivirus and says, yes, this is malware, confirm. I'm attacking Maria? Again, it depends on the intention. We work with malware. We send malware every day. That's not an attack, even if your AV says that that's an attack. So the attack is never a technical problem of ones and zeros. It's always related to the intentionality. And that is good for you. It means you're going to have a job, right? If we can put security in some suricata rules only, that's simple. So what is malware? Now that we are talking about attacks, what is malware? Oh, sorry, she was faster. So, Natalia? Malicious software. And what is malicious? That was good. That was good. Agree. And you have the intentionality, right? So the maliciousness is related to the intentionality. And Adam, you want to say? Pretty much the same thing. So, and this is so important that, do you know what are remote access Trojans? RATs, R-I-T, remote access Trojans. Programs that control your computer remotely, you can see everything you're doing. But maybe you also know remote access tools, which are the same tool, but one is for benign purposes, you know, remote PC anywhere, and one is for attacks. It's exactly the same software, mostly, that has different intentionality, and people went to jail because the judge was not able to say which one was which one. It's like, I don't care. You have a tool that is reading passwords. You go to jail, okay? So that is how close is the definition in here. So now, what is a botnet? A network of bots. That's, I mean, Max, that's it, right? Like, what are bots here? That's true, but what are the bots here? And what is that network? You don't own. Sure. We can talk later. Huh? Sorry, paraphrase. A network of bots that you don't control and can, yeah. If you control, you can use for malicious purposes attacks. So, yes, it's a network of computers. These computers are usually autonomous, that usually they are creating, in the case of the malicious intent, with some malware. And there are some characteristics of the botnet in here that all the bots should have some synchronization, they should have some frequency, there is a way to control them that we call the command and control channel, and this happens simultaneously. The issue is that, again, you can have botnets that are not malicious. For example, every time if you have a Windows wakes up and goes to Microsoft and sends some telemetry. Printers do the same. And you have thousands of printers connecting back to some provider, sending information and receiving commands. Kindle, the same. Are all the Kindles a botnet? Well, maybe. I'm not sure. By definition, they are doing it, okay? So, and we have other types of attacks that we are not going to go there. Now, from the AI perspective, can an AI attack? What do you think, people? Can an AI, oh, I didn't give you the mando, Max. There you go. Can an AI attack? Who is you? You can create some malicious, what do you say? Malicious code. Any agent that can. It's a software. Okay, so who are you, a human or you are the AI? Human. So can the AI, not, you're a human. So if the code reproduces itself and then attacks, which means the code creates itself, then you say maybe the first human, if there was even a human, can. But the AI itself, can we say that the AI is attacking or cannot attack ever? Not yet. Imagine that there is some program AI, some deep neural network, reinforcement learning, game theory, something, and it's doing an exploit. Can we say, yes, is the AI attacking?
From the internet?
From the internet?
We have newer AI agents that use MCP protocols, can perform a wide range of attacks.
Yes, so they can technically go exploit something. This is a philosophical question. Can we say that they're attacking? Because if you remember, attacking was an intentionality thing, right? Natalia? Yes. I agree. So when the model was under some environmental pressure and environment, probably the Anthropic blog, you have there something that is blackmailing. The AI is doing the thing. My question is, if the AI is not human, can have intentionality? Can an AI have the intention? It's a software, right? There is no, as far as I know, Sentinel AI so far. So is the software or is the human that created? Think about the autonomous cars. There is still a huge discussion, who is responsible if the car kills somebody? The same issue. Who goes to jail, the car? No. The law said, no, it's not the car. The car is just a car. So is the manufacturer, is the owner, the people who configure it? Yes. Yes. So wait. Let me go there because it's going to. So it's about the amount of control the human has of what he's doing, right? And what he's doing. So I agree with that. There are degrees of control, and I don't want to solve the problem. It's a philosophical problem, mostly for the people in the Prague AI. But this is a hard issue. Some people say, of course, the software is attacking. I see, sending packets and doing something, but the software is not having intentionality, right? The human did something, have intentionality. So who should go to jail? The human, the AI? You put a computer in a freezer? What you doing there? So think about it. There are many things around in here, especially because there are specific definitions legally for intent, and, well, AIs are out of here in these definitions. So in general, the law says that the responsibility are in the hands of the humans behind it, unless this is changing in the future, okay? So if some ethical framework in the future decides to treat autonomous AI behavior as quasi-intentional, then we have something. If not, the law says it's just software, right? Like, we cannot put it to jail, so yeah. The rest we can discuss. So, anything about this before we continue? Questions? AI attackers or not?
From the internet, funny. Sometimes Copilot answers suggested code to delete all my files using sudo rm/rf/.
So if you have some AI trying to delete your files, is it the responsibility of the AI, or maybe it was your prompt? Should you go to jail or the AI or the creators of the AI? The AI has many things, like you can put backdoors inside the models, right? So even if you want to do something and do something different, I agree there is no easy solution here, okay? So let's change now into doing something, and that is first the cyber range for CTU students. When you see in the document this thing, that means CTU students from now on, you need to work in your Docker containers. So this is a moment, please, all of you, SSH to your containers, get in there and have something. CTU students, online students, you have your SCL at home like this. So if you're online, you just need to be typing there and you are fine, okay? If you are a CTU student, please be sure you can connect to your Dockers. Yes, thank you very much. It looks like this. That is your Docker. Can you see that, or is it too small? Yes, for CTU students. Do you see that? I will give you some good 30 seconds to begin. And I didn't say about the stickers, but you found them. Free stickers, people. So you just come here and pick stickers with you, and that's it. Some more there. So you connect. Please, important, do not remove the SSH authorized keys from your Docker containers, because we need that to get in. So yeah, please don't do that. So please do not delete the whole container again. And Veronica has a message for you. Do not try a fork bomb on the container, please. Okay? We will notice. So thank you very much. Don't do that.
Yeah, I will say one more thing in case you missed it before. Do not remove your Docker containers. And also, it goes along with the fork bomb and other type of attacks. We are all of you, like almost 100, we are sharing the same server with the same resources. So if you use all the memory, the rest of your students are not going to be able to have any. So we are monitoring, but please do not abuse, because you can be disciplined for that.
Yeah. So warm-up challenge. We have for you in the CTS Dockers, there is a small warm-up challenge for you to do right now. So inside your Dockers, there is a hidden file. Try to see if you can find it. And while you do this challenge here, I will talk to the internet students. For you SCL MOOC students, you have the StratoCyberLab, and you also have a challenge there, okay? So I'm going to give you some seconds to try this one in CTU, and then I'm going to go to the StratoCyberLab. Sorry? This one, I think we cannot put it in the CTFD, right? The warm-up challenge. Yeah, this is just warm-up, so it's not in the CTF, right? Sorry? Yeah, the warm-up flag. Yes. It's gonna be open now. So yes, just 1 second. It's 0 points, so there is no rush on this one. If you found the flag, just for you to have it there. For the internet people, please try again to submit the flag to the CTFD if you found, so we know that everything works for you. Find the CTFD and put it there. If you are in the internet, you need to have the StratoCyberLab working. That means cloning and installing everything, and then you should see this in your computer, like we said many times. And for you, there you go, you have it there. For you, it's important to pull changes every week. So every week here, I didn't show you actually, but Martin put, if you go to the first class, you not only have the document here, so you can see here the live document, but also you can see the live class video on YouTube in the StratoCyberLab. So if you just open the StratoCyberLab in the class moment, you have the video there, and you can use only this web page for typing, plus having the video, plus having the document, okay? So everything you need is here. For you internet people that they are using the StratoCyberLab, you also have a warm-up challenge. So you have to go to the challenge Hello World, this one here, Hello World. So you click in Hello World, then you click Start. This is going to start some Dockers in your computer, and now you have to solve the submission test. So please, internet people, solve the submission test if you didn't yet, and then you can solve the Hacker Lab test. That is similar to the warm-up we just did here. This is for online people. Later, you can also solve the networking test. That is a slightly more complex challenge you can do online, okay? Not for now. So here, you have to submit the flag in the StratoCyberLab. When you find the first one, when you find the flag of the Hacker Lab, you go here, and if you want to do the network test, you do here. If you don't know how to do these challenges and you are a little bit lost on how to solve them, exactly. The thing with CTFD is that there is a problem to solve. In this case, I told you, find the flag, and that's all we are going to tell you. So it's up to you to start being creative and say, where is a flag? What is a flag? And how do I do flags? And what should I do? And you start typing commands, and then you do other commands, and then you read online, and then you come back, and then you see until you find something, okay? So we are not going to give you a lot of details. We are just going to guide you on how to start, okay? If you find that it's hard for you, or you have an issue and you cannot solve it, spend time sitting on the problems, having the problem in your mind, and thinking about it, going home, thinking when you're in the tram or something. It's very nice. Keep the problem working in your head, okay? So, that being said, let's start with some basic Linux commands. So if you are here in the Introduction to Security, we hope that you have some already information on how to do with commands. This is something that you should do in your Docker containers, online people, internet, and you. And these are basic ones. So ls, to list files. So if you are here and you do ls, you can do files. If you do ls, dash all the files, long listing, and humans, you will see more files. You can go and see the files on the main folder. So ls, listing files, okay? The next command we are going to be seeing is ps, to list the processes, the process list. So if you do ps, you will see now like only the bash and the ps itself. But then you can use parameters like all the users, F to show the full format, and X for showing the processes that do not have a controlling terminal. So if you do that, then you will see the processes. The same in the SCL, okay? If you are here and you do ps, AFX, you will see everything. All the commands should work the same. LL is just an alias for ls, okay? Then we have cat. This is kind of the printing or showing the content of a file on the screen, the standard input to the standard output. So you can actually look at things like cat, etc, I don't know, group, and then you see the content of a file on screen, okay? Another command is the command ifconfig or IP. You can use both. In that case, is a command to see the properties of your network card. So if you do ifconfig like that, Ethernet 0, you can also do in the CTFD, in the CTU Docker, you will find the name of the interface, Ethernet 0, ATH 0, and a lot of things. Who can tell me what is my IP address? Can you see my IP address there? There you go, 172.20.03, that's my IP address. The same should be for you, okay? This is the net mask, this is the broadcast, my MAC address, and others, and others, and others, okay? Properties of your network card are there. Then we have other commands like ping. In this case, are commands to send packets, ICMP packets to some IP address. I'm gonna be doing pinging or sending ICMP echo request packets to the IP address 1111. Who is 1111? Who is 1111 on the internet? Huh? Cloudflare DNS server, okay? So that's one of the DNS servers of Cloudflare. And other commands are mkdir. So with this, you can actually create folders or directories. And there you go. And then you can list the TMP and see that you have a test one. Okay? Not sure if this is still big enough. So please try. Be sure that everything worked for you. Mkdir, create. htop is a utility to actually see the resources of your computer. So you can see the processes you have, the CPUs you have, the memory, all the list of processes, who is running what. You can go up, you can go up, you can kill with K, and many others. So you can monitor your resources with htop. You can use grep to actually find pattern matcher, like regular expressions, inside the standard input. So you can actually say things like, hey, cut a file, like group, and then use pipe. If you don't know pipe, this character pipe means take everything that is being produced in the standard output of that command, cut etc group, and give it as a pipe to the next command in the standard input. So now I can use grep that is finding patterns and saying, you're going to receive a lot of lines. I want only to see the lines that said, I don't know, AS. There is only one. There is a group called Sassel. So you're going to receive a lot of lines, and grep allows you to find and search by regular expressions, okay? So you can do that. You can also do grep recursively, and you can say, hey, grep, I want to search for something that says aswd in everything that have in etc. So it's going to go through etc, every file, and it's going to find all the files, and recursively it's going to do a regular expression finding everything that says ASSW, okay? If you do not know, grep is one of the fastest, most complex, incredibly mathematical tools in the Linux environment. It was done many years ago in the beginnings of Unix, and there are so many crazy algorithms in there that it's out of this world. To this day, grep can be faster than most databases, right, and things like that. So then we have the find command. The find command, it's a command that finds. And you first give where it's going to find. In this case, is the folder etc. And then you can give many parameters, like the name of the files. So you say, hey, why don't you find for me anything that is called passwd? And I have two, okay? Is it working for you, this? If not, please tell us. Oh, actually, here I have three. I have a difference, okay? Find is an incredibly complex command, many parameters. We are going to be using a lot of them. So get familiar, okay? If you want to know more, man find, and you have the manual page in there. Then we have mktemp, a command to create temporary files. This is super nice because you can actually create things from a script automatically, and you don't have to choose the name. It's like just creating random things. So you can create folders like that. And finally, a little bit of awk. Awk, it's a programming language, a Turing-complete programming language that can do text processing line by line. It can do more than line by line. It's hard to explain, but let's start with line by line. So you can cut a file, like passwd, and then you pipe it, you give it to awk, and in here we are telling to awk, look, your columns are going to be separated with colons. The separator of the columns is going to be colons. And then this is your script. And the script is going to be print the first column. So this takes the first column of that files and print it. Examples of things you can do with awk. Also a very nice programming language. We are going to be using awk a little bit. So when you are doing things in the command line, the majority of the things, searching, finding, sorting, whatever, you can do with these commands, no problem, okay? Questions? How old? How long is? Oh, no, no, until you delete it. It's not deleted automatically. It's how long is a temporary file? Wait. How long is a temporary file? Yes.
It actually depends on your system, because latest update of Debian to Debian 13, I think they are even deleting the files after some time. So it's configurable.
No, but you're talking about TMP.
Yes.
No, TMP is deleted automatically under many reasons. But the mktemp itself stays there and wherever you put it. If you put it in TMP
correct.
like I did, it may be deleted under condition. Thank you very much for that. So then we are going to be looking at some editors. We are going to be first using V. Anybody using V? There you go. Some V users. There you go. Internet. I know everybody's using V. So you can use any editor you want for editing files. I hope it's V. So you do like that. Let's do a very simple one. We are not going to be doing a lot right now. It's for you homework. But you can do V and the name of a file, and you're inside the editor. Ta-da! Right? That's a nice editor. So V works in modes. When you are inside V and you enter, you are in something called the command mode. The command mode means that if I'm pressing, look, I'm pressing the letter M, but there are no M's in there. You are not writing. You are in the command mode. You are commanding. You are not editing. So letters do not work. If you want to go to insert mode, this editing mode, you need to go with special letters. So if you want to insert, you press, you press I, and now you're in insert mode, and now your letters work. Okay? If you want to go back to the command mode, you press escape, and now the letters don't work, because the letters have other meanings, right? So for example, in V, if you press H, you go to the left. If you press L, you go to the right. And if you do, I don't know, VD, you delete a line and things like that. So in command mode, you have in your fingers all the things that you can do in an editor extremely fast, deleting, adding, sorting, and then you go to edition, and then you write. So these two modes are the power of V, okay? And then you have command lines. If you want to exit V, an existential question for many people, then you can, from command mode, so if I'm inserting, no, because if I'm inserting, I'm inserting. From command mode, so escape, you can do colons. See colons there? Colons. And then you can do Q for quit. And in case that you make modifications, you need to tell V, I want to quit, and I don't want to save what I did, because just discard everything. That is exclamation mark. And then you press enter, and you leave. If you want to save something from command line, you can also do twice capital Z, capital Z. Twice capital Z, and then you save and leave. Not so hard, right? Huh? WQ also works. If you do if you do like that, and then you want to save, you can do W, that's saving, and then Q, that's quitting, and things like that. If you like to do this fast, you can learn, I encourage you. Then we have other stuff, some weird other editors, I don't know. Somebody put it here, I need to delete it, whatever. Some Nano, I think it's called, and then you do, and you type, and actually, when you type, it types. And that's it. Now, so you can use Nano in all of them, of course, and then you do Nano and some file, and actually you type, and you have an editor, and I'm not sure how to exit. I think it's Control Exit, yes. Save, modify, buffer, no. So many keys. And, and that's it. So if you want to read more, there are things, okay? Questions so far? Dockers, commands? Yes. it's like incredible. I type, and actually what I type is not doing, is like putting it there. I don't understand it, but whatever. So, questions? It was a joke, huh? Yes, I'm not sure if there is another option, but yes, from all the editors, this. NeoVim, oh, no, I don't want to go there, but let's say. Okay, so introduction to networking, people. Let's transform this into a little bit of networking because it's going to be 80%, maybe 70% of what we are doing in the class, okay? And I know a lot of you, probably in the internet too, you did have networking classes, so I know that you know all of this. Let's just be sure that everybody's on the same page, okay? So we don't have differences. If you remember, we have the OSI model that has 7 layers, and a lot of people got piece of this history. I don't want to go there, but they say, no, let's going to have a smaller and nicer one, TCP/IP, that only defines 4 layers for your networking. So that is the comparison between the OSI and the TCP. So in TCP, we have the data link on the bottom, this layer, the internet layer, the transport layer, and the application layer that are kind of map into OSI, doesn't matter. So who can tell us what is the purpose, the goal, the reason of being of the data link layer? Why do we have a data link layer? I have a Mando for you. Mando! Error correction is one of the functions, but it's not the reason of existing. Huh? To send bytes. I would say that everything sends bytes. That's not the reason of being. So close. Communicate between devices. Communicate between devices in a local networks. It can do that, and I would say that you are extremely close, a little bit different. Yes, there. It does create addresses for the local network, but it's not the reason of being. It's not the why we have it. It's the tools. Transfer the network to the public IP to private IP. Is not that one, but thank you. Yes, if it is a fundamental, if you want to have any connection, you need it. But what is the reason? What is the... So the closer here is Matush, that is like, is the layer that is in charge of going to the medium, so understanding whatever medium you're using and making a link between 2 computers. Understanding the medium, physical layer, it's critical. If you don't say, hey, what do you have here? We have some copper. Oh, yeah, I know copper. We need to put some electricity. So I need to know voltages and thingies, and that's going to be 1, that's going to be, oh, what do you have here? Oh, we have some Wi-Fi. Oh, Wi-Fi. So that's some electromagnetic freak. So, like, you need to understand the medium. You need to know how to get physical. And then on top of that, the first purpose is to make 2 computers exchange data, which involves addresses, involves other things, okay? This is the first layer, the only layer that you need to share data between 2 computers. If you have 2 computers, you put a cable between them, that's it. You don't need TCP, nothing. Just with the data layer, you're sharing data, okay? So, protocols here. So we have some known protocols. If you are in the, cable network, you have Ethernet, right? Which other protocols do we have here? ARP, it's actually not bad because ARP lives like a little bit there, but shares a little bit with the next one. I will give you guys a yes. ARP, why not, can be here. It's not straight, right? It's kind of, yeah. Other one, you have them there. Come on, you have ChatGPT. So what is 802.11? Wi-Fi standard. This is your Wi-Fi. All of you are using Wi-Fi right now. That's yours. DSL, probably the one you're using at home if you're not using fiber optics. IRDA, infrared, right? What else? What else do we have? Come on, you're using like 10 right now. Wi-Fi is one. Ethernet, huh? DOCSIS. Really? Oh, in my case it's DSL, but hey, DOCSIS, there you go. So if you have cable, that one, yes. GSM, right? There you go. What else? What about Bluetooth? Also electromagnetic. What else? USB, there you go. A little bit slow. Okay. It works. I will give you that one. I don't give you that one. It works. And you can have a network with that. Some weird people does it. You can have many things in here, right? You can have sound. Yes, we have communication with sound. We can have light. Well, fiber optic, but actually light. We can have many things. Even pigeons, right? Also works. It's like mediums. So on top of the data link, we have what? The internet layer. What is the reason of being of the internet layer? Why do we have it? So, what did you say? To convert public to private. Not also here. Come on, I know you know this one. To exchange data between local network is not that one. It's a little bit different. The internet layer. To spread data, oh, that's too generic. No. I need to forward. Oh, you are into something there. Maybe, almost there. Forward packets. So close, so close.
From the internet.
From the internet.
Internet layer. Networks to communicate with each other.
Networks to communicate to each other, and that's actually correct. So the reason why we have that layer there is, remember what I said before, in the data link, you already communicate. So you have a network, you have your local network, but you don't have other networks. The internet layer is the first one that somebody created a protocol to go from one network to another network. I don't care which one. That is called routing. The routing protocol, the magic of having packets and addresses from one network to another, make the magic of the internet. Going here to another network, to another, and then to Japan, and then back to here. That is the reason of the internet layer. To route packets around with all the protocols of routing and to make the communications between networks. And then, yes, we have IP addresses and others, okay? So, protocols in the IP layer, who can tell us? TCP, it's in another layer. UDP is also in another layer. We have a limited amount, so you can continue. So, which one? V4. What is V4? IPv4. IPv4, IPv6. Yes, IPv4 and IPv6 is there. What else? DHCP application. ICMP, yes, ICMP is here. Also share, it doesn't matter, but yes, ICMP is here. BGP, yes, BGP is here. OSPF also here. IP6, sorry? MPLS, I'm not sure. You will have to search for that one. Maybe yes, maybe yes. Confirm, just confirm. I don't remember that one. Then on top we have the transport layer. So what is the goal of the transport layer? To make sure that the data is transferred to some, I look like a translator. To make sure that the data is transferred. Do you agree with, wait for me, you say, no, how's your name? Ivan. Do you agree with Ivan? Nobody's saying yes, Ivan. Ah, there. Huh? Partially, okay. Exactly, some protocols don't care, right? So that cannot be the reason of the layer. Exactly. So it provides the capability of more granularity than only the computer, like ports. Exactly. The reason of this layer is before you just communicate between computers. And this is the first time that the kernel can actually split in applications and can transport this data to these applications. And then you have different protocols like TCP that does the rearranging, packet not loose, all the things on top. That's true. But also you have UDP that doesn't care. We are going to see that. So last layer on top, application. This is the easy one, right? So this is where your tool implements an application that opens a port in the transport layer and then receives data. And here we have all the most well-known protocols, right? DNS, HTTP, SSH, Telnet, IMAP, and the rest, okay? So going through a little bit the protocols, remember that there is something called a vertical communication. That means each layer is having a header, having data, and sending this to the layer below as payload. And then the next layer is adding a header below. The next one adds its header and below. So there is a communication up and down between the layers. But also, there is a horizontal communication, because everything you put in one header is meant only for the same layer in the other computer. So the layers talk to each other. If you put something in IP layer, it's not going to be read by the application. I mean, you can, but it's not meant for. So there is kind of a horizontal communication between layers, okay? So, oh, we have break time. Is it true? Okay. So, questions before we go into specific protocols? SCL, transports. I can tell you, for example, that in the transport layer, apart from TCP and UDP, you have other protocols like SCTP, weird ones. And that's it. No questions? I'm missing something? Internet questions? No? OK, we have the second break. It's 4:21. See you at 4:31 here, OK? And remember the stickers. Please take them. OK, ready, people? So, let's continue. Let's gonna continue with specific R protocols, OK? So, in the networking part, let's gonna go through what each protocol is doing and trying to understand. So, the first one is gonna be ARP. You're gonna be looking at this a lot. ARP, the Address Resolution Protocol. This one I'm going to tell you. It's a protocol that originally it's meant for doing this resolution between IPv4 addresses, and Ethernet MAC addresses. So what happens is that at a moment in time, you're in your computer, and you do a command like ping or something, and then you are going to send a packet to the network. But remember, when you are sending anything to the network, Ethernet networks, there are 4 pieces of information that you must have. And that is the MAC address of the sender and the receiver, the MAC address of the receiver, the IP address of the sender, and the IP address of the receivers. Without any of these 4, you cannot send the packet. So when you're doing something like ping, imagine I'm going to go back here, get out of this, and saying ping, I don't know, 2222 or whatever that packet actually needs the 4 pieces of information. And the IP address of your computer, you know because it's your computer. The source MAC address, you know because it's your computer, you have it there. The destination IP you have because I just type it there, it's coming from the user, where I'm getting the destination MAC. And the destination MAC you find using ARP. When the computer does not know, one of the things it's doing is like, OK, I need to send a packet saying, hey, who has this IP address? OK? That is the benign normal usage. However, you can do much more. One of the things you can do is that this is used to actually update the remote cache of ARP resolutions on each computer before they expire. So if you are having a computer and you are pinging other computer, the MAC address you remember for some time, okay? That's the cache of ARP. Other good uses, well, you can do network discovery, because now I can send ARP packets in the network, and whoever is having those IPs, I'm gonna get an answer. Your first technique of finding if a computer is up or not. That is network discovery, and it's usually half and half, let's say half good, half bad. You can do monitoring, so that means you are sniffing in your network, and when you see ARP packets, you can keep track of who is who, if they're changing IPs or not, and when. You can do monitoring. You can do collision detection. Collision detection is when your computer gets up and then says, I want to have this IP address. But before putting this IP address, I need to find if anybody else has this IP address before. Collision detection. So you go and say, hey, does anybody has the IP 192.168.0.10? No? OK, I'm going to use it. OK? Collision detection. Those are the good uses. The bad uses are actually cache poisoning. Cache poisoning, a very, very common attack for man-in-the-middle attacks, is where I send fake ARP packets saying that me or somebody else has another MAC that they do. So it's like, oh, you want to go to the printer? Sure, sure, I am the printer. And then you can actually redirect traffic to your computer, okay? Another bad one is MAC flooding. So you are sending so many ARPs, changing the MAC address, that actually many hardware devices in the middle get crazy. They completely use their memory, and they don't have memory to put new MACs. So you can take out a switch, a little bit old switch, very easily in the network. You do this attack in the network, and whatever switch is there, puck, is going down, okay? So let's try to do some things. If you are in the internet, mock students, please do apt update. So you are updating your list of packages. Actually, the CTU students, you can also do that, because we're going to be leading later. apt update, please. So you see there all the list of packages. Then, if you are on the internet, for the StratoCyberLab, we are going to be installing T-Shark. So that's apt install. Oh, I'm waiting. You don't have to install in the CTU Dockers because it's already there. You only have to install on the SCL. Oh, there you go. So apt install T-Shark internet, and then you're going to be having install T-Shark in your computer. So what is T-Shark? T-Shark is a command line program from the family of Wireshark that allows to see packets and interpret their fields in a very nice human way. So we are going to very fast use this command. Don't worry, later on we are going to be going deep into T-Shark. And we are going to say T-Shark -r, that means read a pickup file. A pickup file, it's a file with a specific format for storing packets of the network. So there is a standard, and that is pickup. So when you have a pickup file, it's a file that inside you have packets of the network, okay? And then we are going to be doing -Y to apply a display filter. The display filter is going to be ARP. And then we are going to only analyze 2 packets in the capture, so we don't do a lot. And then we are going to be verbose. So both in CTU Dockers or in SCL, please do this command right now. Oh, yes, 2. There you go. And both internet and CTU should see the same, that is that. And that is the details of a real ARP packet on the network, okay? Did it work? Yes? No? Perfect. So this is an address resolution protocol packet. The detail says ARP proof. It's a proof. OK, we'll see why. So the hardware type, this is all the headers, right? Everything in there is everything that the protocol can do. That's it. So it's an Ethernet type. We have the protocol type, which is on top, is IPv4, actually this number. The hardware size is 6. protocol size is 4, it doesn't matter. The opcode is very important. That is type 1, that is a request. Everything that is with brackets is extra information from T-Shark. This is not real in the header, okay? And then the sender MAC, sender IP, target MAC, and target IP, okay? So this is how an ARP packet looks like. Now, let's go into different types of ARP. First, we're going to be doing ARP request and ARP reply. So these are the most common type of packets. A computer requests to know the MAC address of a destination IP, the typical case we talked before. In this case, the destination IP needs to reply with its MAC address as the sender. And that's it, right? If you see this here, then we have a protocol that is a reply. So that is type 2. And the MAC address of the sender, this one that says Realtek, this is the real MAC address. That is how you know that that computer is up and running, and that is the owner of that IP, and here is the MAC, thank you very much, okay? That is an ARP request and an ARP reply, the most common ones. Now, we have other types. By varying the values of the header, we can do combinations. So the call ARP announcement packet is to update the cache of other hosts quickly about your Mac without waiting for the computer to ask you. So you can create this packet and put in the sender IP and the target IP the same value, usually you that is sending the packet. So both the sender IP and the target IP, it's the same value because you are not aiming at anybody. And then the target MAC is 0, which means all the hosts. And the sender MAC is what you are announcing, which is your MAC. So if you look at the packet, you have the sender MAC, what you're announcing. The sender IP and the target IP are the same, my IP. And the target MAC is zeros. That is an ARP announcement. And, well, the opcode should be request. This is what we call a gratuitous ARP request. The other characteristic is that in the Ethernet layer, not inside the header of the ARP, in the Ethernet layer, a little bit above, the destination MAC should be broadcast in the Ethernet level. That means FFFFFFF. You got it? Ethernet layer, broadcast. That means all of you will receive it. The switch, Wi-Fi, will send all of you this packet because the destination MAC in the Ethernet header is broadcast. But inside the ARP, the target MAC is zeros. Got you? Then, the next one is unsolicited ARP replay. And that means that's a replay. We also call this the gratuitous ARP replay, not request. And the purpose is to update the cache of other hosts quickly about your Mac. Very similar. You can actually do the same with many types. And then the Ethernet header, the destination MAC is broadcast, the same as before. And in the ARP header, you have the sender MAC is the host real MAC. The target MAC is all zeros, and both RPs and the sender. Very similar to the previous, but one is a request, and another one is a reply. Some tools attack with one, some tools attack with the other. Some tools detect only one. Questions? Yes, in this one, the difference is the type, the opcode, is requesting one, and the other one is 2. But both have a very similar characteristic. If you see the target MAC is all zeros, right? Is all the zeros. And the sender MAC is the host, that's exactly the same. So they look very, very similar, okay? Yes. Yes, we can. I'm not going to go into the details here, but very roughly, just how can we attack using this? There are many attacks. We will do them later. But, for example, one of the tasks is that I want, imagine his computer that usually connects to you. So he's usually sending a packet to your IP address that is, I don't care, 192.168.0.10. And he's sending you a file, an email, whatever. And I want to receive that. I want to read it. I want to open. I want to intercept the communication. We are in the same Wi-Fi, like in a coffee shop. I don't care. You're in Starbucks. And I usually do not receive this packet because the switch of the Wi-Fi is not sending me the packet. It's just sending to you. That's the magic of the switch. So I can do an ARP poisoning attack to his computer saying, oh, you want to go to the computer 10? And this is the MAC address. And I put mine instead of yours. And then next, when he wants to connect to you, whatever he's doing, the Wi-Fi is going to send to me the packet. And I open it, and I see whatever's in there, an email, a file, whatever. That's called man-in-the-middle attack. You don't. We are going to be doing the attack later, so I'm not going to go to the details, but man-in-the-middle attacks are usually done in local networks with ARP. I don't. Because I can get it, right? I have ARP. So just ask. Okay? So, next one. ARP proof packet. The goal is to poll the network to validate that the IP address is not already in use. So this is the typical, are you using this IP address or not? We have a packet for that. So the opcode is 1, send to request. The sender MAC address is my MAC address, normal. The target MAC is zeros, same as before. But now the sender IP is zeros. When this happens, what happens here is the IP address in question is in use, and we expect a reply. If I send this packet, the ARP proof packet, with the sender IP in zeros, I expect to receive back a reply. And that is the official way in the protocol to know that you are alive or not, okay? Related commands. Some of the commands we cannot do right now. We are going to be doing later. But ARP is the main command to see the cache in your computer. So if you go to your computer and you do ARP, you will find there the other computers that I know and the MAC address. Who can tell me what is that computer? There, sorry? Wasn't that your Docker? My Docker is 03. The gateway, very well. So that is the computer that my Docker knows is the one to go to reach other networks like the internet, okay? But if you do something like, imagine ping 172, 20.0.10, and it's there, right? So I found the computer. After that, if you check, it's going to appear. Ah, and somebody pinged me, see? Somebody found me. So every time you're interacting with others, their MAC appear in your cache, okay? Next one, ICMP. Yes, go. So if ARP has a mechanism to do something where another computer is announcing your own IP address or MAC, it does not. ARP has no checking, verification, or memory of anything. That's up to the application layer protocols, like an intrusion detection system. But this is by design. Remember, the protocols are very specific for one thing, doing only their task, and they cannot be super complicated, right? So this is up to the other programs. So, Internet Control Message Protocol. This is the main protocol to actually, well, control the messages and errors in the network. So, in its header, it has a type field with 255 options and a code field that defines the functionality. So, for example, a packet that in the header has type 0 code 0 is called an echo reply, and a packet that has type 8 and code 0 is called an echo request. So when you're doing a ping to 3333 or something, well, maybe not that one, but if you do to 8888, that means that I am sending ICMP packets echo request, And the computer is sending back 8888, that is Google, sending back ICMP echo replace, okay? So, and then we have others, like destination unreachable for 3, type 11 is time exceeded in transit, and others, okay? ICMP very much used. We are gonna go deeper when we attack on them. This is just to have a baseline, okay? Now, TCP. So, you don't need, remember, the transport layer to move data between computers, but you need it to deliver to the right application. Remember, ports, that's the thing here. So, TCP, probably the most well-known protocol out there, connection-oriented, checking that everything arrives in time, doing all the security mechanisms that it can, not all of them, but can. It's very much used. And we are going to start with what is called the TCP handshake. So imagine that I'm an application, and I want to connect to Gmail or TikTok or whatever. So I will send a packet with a TCP header, okay? So it's going to have a TCP and then whatever needs, IP, Ethernet, or whatever, right? So the TCP header will have some bits on. The TCP header has some parts that are bits, and you can put in 1 and 0, 1 and 0, 1 and 0, 1 and 0. Those are called the flags of TCP. Each of those have a specific meaning. And one of those is called the syn bit, the synchronization bit. So when I put in 1, the synchronization bit, and I send a packet, that means I want to synchronize with you. If the port is open, and if the other application wants to communicate with me, it's going to send back, so I send the syn, it's going to send back another packet with the header having the synchronization bit on, in 1, and the acknowledge bit in 1. That means that is able and wants to communicate with me. And then I close this by sending an acknowledge packet. That means, hey, computer, I would like to synchronize with you. And then the computer says, oh, I acknowledge that you say that, and I want to say that I also want to synchronize with you. And the first computer says, I acknowledge that I received that message. Super polite. And then after that, we are ready to send data. The communication is considered established. From this moment on, all the packets will have data. Not true, you can put data in the last packet, but it doesn't matter, details, okay? After this, you are able to send data. So let's see the headers. T-Shark, Internet people, you should have it working. I'm gonna be doing in the StratoCyberLab, or you can do it in the Dockers of CTU, exactly the same. And then you should see a packet. So I'm gonna scroll up. Yes.
There is a question from the internet. Mm-hmm. So what are the multiple 172.20 star that we see with RP minus A, and why some are marked as incomplete?
This one. Oh, okay. What are these ones? And incomplete. So these ones that we see at the beginning that says address, those are the IP address of other computers that send to you some ARP packet that allows you to remember the MAC address. Can be an ARP proof, can be a gratuitous ARP, 2 flavors. Any of those packets that you receive, your kernel is going to say, oh, I know that there is another computer called 172.20 and has this MAC address, okay? Incomplete is because sometimes what happens is, if you remember my previous cache, it was more filled. Now it's more empty. So these packets are expiring. We forget them. And then we need to do again. So you are all the time remembering other computers who you are, and others you, and then everybody forgets, and then again and again and again. Okay? That's why sometimes you don't have the information and it's incomplete, but you know the IP. Okay. TCP then. So from this moment on, that's the header of TCP. Please check that you see the same. And you can see other packets. So we have the source port. How many source ports can we have? What are the ranges? Huh? and that is something, 65,000? 65,000? Who is more? 55,500. Do you agree with Max? Anybody? Yes? No? Too many? Huh? 35. 35 we have here. 35, 36. Anybody else? 65,535 or 36? You should know this one. I will call your network teacher. I say, If your network teacher is looking right now, his or she's, is 36, right? Because you need to count the port 0. 0, it's a port, and you can open it, and actually malware attacks it. So yes, there are up to 65,536 ports. Then we have the destination port, another same amount, so a lot of ports, right? And then, remember everything with brackets is up to T-shark, so we can ignore. We have the sequence number. In this case, it's a relative sequence number that is 0. The real sequence number is this number. That is the number of the bytes that you are transferring. And then we have the acknowledged number, 0 in both cases, and that is the number of the byte that you are acknowledging. Then we have the length of the header, 32 bytes, and then we have all the flags I was telling you about. So let's go through them because they're important. Syn, I already told you, to synchronize. Reset, to end up a connection fast. Push, to actually push data. This is very old. People, this is a protocol from the 60s, okay? So in the 60s, network was expensive, so there was a mechanism to actually send data to the layer, but the layer was not sending it to the network because it's expensive. So there was a moment that you say, no, you should push now, okay? So there was a push bit to say, oh, now I'm sending. We don't do that anymore. Acknowledgement, I already told you. Urgent, again, better times. There was a way to tell the protocol, oh, I'm sending a lot of stuff, like TCP layer, but this one in particular is urgent. The other bytes were not. And there is another field called the urgent pointer, where I point you what is the urgent data. Can you imagine that? In one packet, separating urgent and not urgent? Yeah. The 60s. We don't need that anymore. And then we have other ones that are for congestion control. We are not going to go there. And we have one that is reserved. So we are sending a lot of stuff that we don't need, people. All those bits are not used in every packet. And then we have the window. We are not going to go there. It's more networking. The checksum of all the data. The urgent portion I told you before. And most importantly, the options. TCP is alive today because of the options. That's the way we are extending the protocol. And you have things like maximum segment size, and you have things like window scale. So you can attach things at the end of the packet and extend it with options, okay? So that is TCP. Now, UDP. Well, UDP is not connection-oriented, which means that UDP is, oh, I want to communicate with you and I send something. How is UDP checking that the data arrive? So in TCP, you have mechanism for counting the bytes, they are out of order, you need to resend me this. There are a lot of things to be sure that the data arrive. In UDP, I send data. How I'm checking that the data arrive? Huh? Why would you? There is no checking. You send the data, and you forget. It's like, yeah, I don't care. Send something. Did you receive? Awesome. You didn't receive? Who cares? I'm just not looking anymore. So you just send data, and whatever, and you leave, and then the other computer may receive, may not receive, who knows? It doesn't matter. That is UDP. And it's awesome, people. It's amazing. Of course, in the 60s, 70s, the networks were shitty, so you need TCP to be sure everything arrives. Now we have much better networks, and everything arrives anyway. So everything is UDP. The majority of the things you are doing right now are UDP. And we are only be UDP at some moment in time, I hope. So let's see some of the headers with T-Shark. And there you go. So if you push that command, you will find the user data user datagram protocol, and that is going to show you also ports, different ports, right? UDP ports, the length, the checksum, and then the payload. That's it. In this case, you even see part of the payload, that is DNS, but we don't care right now about DNS, okay? So, that's UDP. You fire and forget, okay? The I don't give a damn protocol, we can call it. So, next protocol, HTTP. HTTP comes from Hypertext Transfer Protocol. And that is, in my opinion, the most complex protocol that we have on the web. It's the web protocol, the protocol that gives you web pages, but we are asking everything to this protocol, and that's a security problem. Like, we want to see web pages and videos, well, and also my bank. Actually, I want to play games, and I want to talk to my friends, and I want to do my homework and my backup and my dog. We are asking everything for the web. And that means that we are pushing the protocol a lot. That means huge and complex and full of bugs and errors and security problems. And there are going to be many, many more. It's too complex right now. So how does it work? When you connect, you are usually having methods, and you are getting information, and you are asking to put information, and other methods. So let's go deep a little bit into this. The first version we are going to be looking at is HTTP 1.0 and 1.1. These are the first one, very old, text-based protocols that you can use to send basic web pages. And in these protocols, to have a valid request, you must have the method, get, post, whatever, the URI, in this case, slash, or whatever you want to put, the version, HTTP 1.1, 1.0, then the host header, which the host that you want to go, and then 2 new lines. If you do that, you are speaking the protocol, and you are free to try. So let's do it, okay? We are going to be using the tool called NetNCAT. NCAT is a tool from the suite of Nmap. It's like a very nice tool that you can connect to any port and send data and receive data by hand or with other protocols. So you can do in SCL, Internet, or here. We are going to be doing NCAT 1111. You remember that is the Cloudflare server. Oh, that's too much. And then port 80. What is port 80? HTTP. Do you agree with Honza? Yes, yes, yes. Well, actually, we don't know. No. In any port, you can put whatever you want. You can put SSH in 80. So be careful. We agree as a community that most of the port 80s are going to have a web page because we agree that's not written in any place. You can put whatever you want there. So we are going to be connecting in port 80. I'm going to press enter. I'm going to write get dash HTTP 1.1 enter host and then 1111 enter enter, and look at that, a web page. So please try. I was typing fast because there is a timeout. So if you have a timeout, type faster. You can actually talk with a web server by hand. Who needs web browsers? You can browse with your hands, no problem. Please try to speak with some web browser, and you can ask whatever you want, like get test.html, HTTP 1.1, host, colons, 1111, and it's going to say two enters, move permanently. Okay? That's Ravi. Do you see that? Working? Not working? Were you able to talk with the protocols? We are going to be doing this a lot, including the assignments and the CTF and the challenges, so get very used to use NCAT to connect to everything. Questions? Issues? Not working? Working? Yes? Once you have a connection, you can keep typing, and it's going to say, bad request, because it doesn't understand, right? And then, yeah, you're out, because Cloudflare, okay? So, that is the way you can use for HTTP 1.1. But we are not using that anymore. That's very old. We have HTTP 2. What is HTTP 2? Well, HTTP 2 is a much more efficient protocol that actually is a binary protocol. So for the first time in the history of the web, we went from a ASCII-based letter-by-letter protocol like G, E, T. Each one is 8 bits in ASCII. Oh, a lot of information. We went to a binary protocol. Now, every bit has a meaning. That's a binary protocol, like SSH, like Telnet, like others. So here, we are putting compression of headers. Actually, we have a new protocol called Ph.D. that is doing many, many, many more things. We have a new thing that is pushed from servers. In this protocol, you can go to a web page and say, I want the main web page. And the server can tell you, I think you also want the JavaScript, the CSS, a video. So it can push stuff without you asking. A little bit weird for security, right? Then you can have many resources in one connection, yeah, and many things around. So, are you using HTTP2 or not? Who is using HTTP2? There, and the rest? We don't know. So let's check, people. How do we check? Open some browser like Chrome, Firefox, Internet, whatever you have, and go to google.com, okay? So I'm going to go to google.com. Now, in this page, in Chrome, you can do right-click, inspect. The same you can do in Firefox. Inspect, right-click, inspect. And once you're inspecting, go to networking. Okay? And once you're in networking, now you can reload the page. So google.com, enter, reload, so you actually see something. And if you see here, you have like some some like headers, like path, name, and others. So standing on these headers, right-click, and be sure you select protocol. Right-click on the headers, be sure you select protocol. Right-click on the headers, be sure you select protocol. And then you will have this column here with the protocol. So which protocols do you see? H2. You are using HTTP2. Some people may be using HTTP3, depending on the page you are going. So that means that the majority of you and browsers, modern browsers, are already using HTTP2 much, much, much faster. That's why the internet is faster for you, because you are using newer protocols, even if you don't know, okay? So, I need to close that one. So, after that, let's try by hand, okay? So, if you are in the internet, apt install, you need to install the ng-http2 tool. If you are on the C2 Dockers, you don't need to install this tool. It's already installed for you. Using this tool, now all of you, using this tool, we are going to go to google.com using the HTTPS, okay? So, if you go there and you press enter, maybe I should type less. Oh, there you go. So, now you will see how your computer is connecting to Google, but not talking HTTP anymore. So if you look at this, you have, for example, here the method get and the path. Those are binary, and the tool is interpreting for you. Oh, yeah, that's a get. But there is no get. There is no GET. There's only bytes, bits, okay? The same with the path. The same with the scheme. not even the same names we have now, right? We have authority, and then we have headers, and then we have many, many other things like window size. So now, when you do a TCP dump or some sniffing, and you find HTTP2, you cannot interpret anymore unless you have a tool like this one, okay? Clear? Did it work? Yes? Awesome. Now, we are not using actually so much HTTP2, but 3. What is HTTP 3? Well, it's an improvement on HTTP 2, where finally we don't use TCP anymore. My God. It's only UDP, people. We don't care anymore. It's 443 on UDP. It's using Quick, a new standard. Quick is amazing and it's fast. You can see that Quick takes over part of the TCP layer, parts of the HTTP2 layer, parts of the everything. It's like incredibly fast, defining standards. So that's why you can see those TikTok videos so fast, because of HTTP 3, okay? So let's try to install a tool in the SCL to see. You should have this tool in your Dockers here, so you can do the GTS client. I'm gonna go to SCL, install the ngTCP2, there you go. And now you can use the GTLS client to go to Cloudflare Quick, port 443, Cloudflare Quick asking, and then send this. This is a little bit magic, but this means when you have a process, you have 3 things attached to each, many more, but it doesn't matter. You have the standard input, the standard output, and the standard error. Any process reads from the standard input, usually your keyboard, puts in the standard output, usually you display, and sends errors to the standard error, which is usually also your display. But you can change this. So that 2 here, this means 0, 1, 2. Standard input, standard output, standard error. That means take your standard error and redirect, greater than, redirect, and make a copy, ampersand, to the standard output. 1, 0, 1, 2. Standard error, copy to standard output. We need to do this because this tool in particular, for reasons I don't know, you cannot send to the pipeless because it's printing in the standard error. Very weird. It doesn't matter. What matters is that if you do that command, you can see the results and pipe into less. If you don't remember, I'm not sure if I say that, less is a program to separate text in bunch of windows or pages. So you can actually stop the output and go up and down and see what's going on in your output of the tool, okay? In here, you will see a lot of information of how the HTTP 3 protocol works, and you will see the remotes, and you will see all the information about the PKN, all the information about how the bytes are being sent and received, the crypto, because remember we're using Quick. Now the encryption and all this is inside Quick. It's kind of part of the same protocol. So we have a kind of very complicated situation. The point is that using this output, you are able to actually see what is going on inside HTTP 3. This is completely binary. You can see here certificates. I'm scrolling down, more parameters, scrolling down, more certificates, okay? Do you see this? It's not for going byte by byte. I just want you to have a way of looking into HTTP 3 and understanding that the GET very complex protocol. We are far away from the GET only, okay? Perfect. So after this, we are going to jump into TLS. What is TLS? It's a protocol for usually encrypting, transport layer security. We define the protocol to put a layer of encryption, confidentiality, to any other protocol. You may know this only because of the web, only because it's a protocol used to encrypt the web, but you can encrypt whatever you want. You can encrypt the net, you can encrypt your emails, you can be whatever, okay? So, this is not an encryption class, so we are not going to go into encryption. I just want to remember a little bit of how it works, okay? So there is a small handshake where the computer says, this is me, this is what I can do. Then there is a lot of encryption with different protocols. It doesn't matter. There is integrity because it's actually doing checksum and checking that the data is not modified. And it's using public-private keys. I'm not sure if you remember public-private keys from your previous classes. Internet, I'm not sure if you know. So I'm going to give you a very, very, very fast information of how public and private keys works, okay? It's going to be very easy. Are you ready? If you remember this, that's it. You are good to go. In public and private key protocols, you have two keys. Whatever you encrypt with one key, you can only decrypt with the other. That's it. If you remember that, you know 90% of these protocols. You have two keys. Whatever one encrypts cannot even be decrypted with the same key, can only be decrypted with the other, and goes both ways. That is public key encryption, signature, certificate, whatever you want to put in the encryption, that's the basics. Then we have the details. If you encrypt with the private one, if you encrypt with the public one, don't do that. But these are the basic things, okay? In TLS, we are using this to actually have a secure communication between the client and the server. Once we have the communication, we're encrypting, the first thing we are doing is exchanging a key of another protocol that is a symmetric protocol. Why would you do that? Who can tell me? I mean, we are already encrypting, right? Yeah. If you forget one key, you can use the other. It's a good one. I like it so much. No, you cannot forget them in the computer, but I like the idea of a computer forgetting one. It's so nice. But in this case, the computer remembers both. Anyway, it's using, I have one. I am already encrypting. This is super private. Why I will use another new protocol to encrypt? Much faster, Max, incredibly much faster, and less resources, less memory, less CPU. So you don't want to use public and private key all the time. That's not going to work. So the first thing you do, you go into AES protocol, Rigendahl, or whatever, and then you have a very nice symmetric key. If you remember symmetric keys, you need the same key in both places to encrypt and decrypt, okay? That's it. Next one. DNS. So DNS, I'm sure you know, it's a protocol for distribute and hierarchical exchange of information mapping domains to IP addresses. That is how DNS works. Now, who can tell us what else can DNS do? What else can DNS do? We ran out of... First time that happens. I have a Mando here. Mando. So, who can tell us what... Oh my God, 3D printed, homemade whistle. I don't want to do it. So, keychain whistle for emergencies or taxis. So, yes. let me check. No. What other things can DNS do? So DNS, a protocol for mapping from a host name to an IP. Can save the record of all the domains. Where? In something. Okay, so we have here, wait for me. Mania. Thank you very much. Saying, hey, also we have more information about the servers. That's true. The whole architecture of DNS stores much more than IPs and domains. And this is one of the powers of DNS. Actually, what you have there are records like A records for IPs, AAAA for IPv6, TXT records. We are using TXT records for everything. Guys, I'm not sure why you are not doing this part of the class, but okay, next time. What? Martin and Lucas can show you the amount of things that people is using DNS for. In TXT, you can put whatever, and they put private keys, messages, poems, whatever. File systems. Oh my God, it's like the people is crazy. But you have others like MX records for mails. So the point is that in this protocol that we created for exchanging IP and domains, again, we are abusing it for everything. Antivirus companies are using for sending hashes. Attackers are using for DNS tunneling across companies. It's like, again, DNS, a protocol that gets very complex very fast. So, what is a domain? This is important for the class. From that thing that you have there, CTFD, BSI, FEL, CHBUT, ZZ, ZZ is the country level, top level domain. Country level, because you may have not country level, like .com, like .net, or whatever. Second level domain, subdomain, and the last one is the host, okay? The host is CTFD. When you see something like www.google.com, www is the name of a computer. The computer that has the World Wide Web. In the 90s, it was important to say, this computer has web pages. This one has an FTP. So one was called ftpgoogle.com, the other one was called www.google.com. Now everything is the web in www, but it's the name of a computer. So how does the resolution work? If I have a host name, like google.com, and I want to know the IP address, I can use DNS. And I say, hey, I want the IP of this name. And it works a little bit like this. I'm not going to go very into each of these. You can go and say thanks to Brie. But in here, Brie, I don't know how to call it. So in here, if you follow the numbers, you will see that you are first checking the local cache, and then if you have it there, it's fine. And if not, you go to the host files. And if it's not there, then the operating system, not you, not your program, not your Python, the operating system, your DNS resolver or whoever, then you can go to the DNS resolver. The DNS resolver is going to go to first the root servers. I'm not sure if you know, but this thing that, oh, the internet is of everybody and it belongs to it does not belong to everybody. In the case of the root servers of the internet, we have very clear separation, 7 main root servers that are not split all over the world. Some countries have the root servers, then we have copies of the root servers and others. And if you are very close to a root server, your internet is very fast. And if not, you have to travel 2 continents to get a root server. So the people that manage the internet, they have a lot of root servers, and extremely expensive. We are talking about very big networks and computers, right? So you first talk to, when you want to take the internet down, you attack a root server. And then nobody has internet, DNS, and then you are happy. After asking the root server is going to tell you, do you want to go to www.google.com? Oh, I know .com. Oh, that's good, .com. So then you go to the TLD server for .com and say, do you know somebody called Google? And then the server says, oh, actually, yes, I have a company registered called Google. And then you go to the name site of Google and you say, hey, Google, can you tell me the IP of www? And Google says, oh, yeah, that's mine. I have it, okay? So there is a hierarchy of connections here. So let's get some. You can use the tool dig. That is the tool that you can use to do DNS from your computer. So please, let's use dig to check the IP address of test.com. And there you go. These are the IP address. Or you can dig www.google.com. Does it work? And you can dig www.google.com. What do you say? Is it going to work or not? 4 Ws. Dig www.google.com. No, I don't have an IP. What about www.google.com? Who? Google got it. So you can resolve IPs and domains all over the world. You can also do reverse resolution. Reverse resolution means that you have an IP and you can get the host name, and that is with -x. So if you do dig with -x, you're going to have the name of the IP address 1111. And what is the name? Can you see it? The type of record is PTR, like pointer. 1.1.1.1. That's the name of the computer, 1.1.1.1. So smart, Cloudflare. So you can do more things. For example, you can ask all the public records of some domain, like chbut.cz. So you do dig -t, the type, and then the type is any, and then you have many more registers for chbut.cz. And like that, you can change which DNS server you're asking. You can do a trace to see all the things around. Okay? Was it clear? So IPv6 is going to be the last protocol we see. We are not going to go here because it's a huge protocol. I just want to say several things. The first one is, we know that IPv6 is huge, right? A lot of IPs. We have a lot of IPs. We know that one. The problem is that we really don't know how many we have. And it's hard to have this number in our heads. So let me tell you, for example, we have more IPv6 than microseconds since the Big Bang. We have the Big Bang. We have millions and millions of years. If you split that in microseconds, we have more IPv6 than that. Okay? Imagine right now we have one internet for whole humanity. One internet for the whole humanity. Now imagine that we take one follow of 12 zeros, that is quintillions, let's say quintillion. You can take 1 quintillion internets, no IPs, internets, and you can give them to each human on Earth, 7 billion, and we still have IPs to go. That is the amount we have. It's stupid. That means that when you go next and you say, oh, let's scan ports on IPv6 internet, good luck with that one. You're not going to find any, okay? And the last thing I want to say is that Czech Republic is, as far as I know, the first country that put a deadline for governmental offices to kill IPv4 forever. Czech Republic already say, we don't want IPv4 anymore. Bye-bye, that's it, we are going to delete it, stop using it. Only IPv6 in government and ministries, schools, I'm not sure. And I think it's in 10 years or something like that, 10 years, yeah, or 5? 35, oof. So for you to know, so get ready, people. Then, 32. Then, NDP, I'm going to go fast here. Yes, go. So what do we have in IPv4? NAT, yes, NAT or address translation, yes. In IPv4 we have that, yes. No, not for privacy. Yes, so that happens in NAT that, yes, yes. So the question is IPv6 has NAT or not, right? Yeah. Yes. Yes, so something like that. The issue is that NAT is not about privacy. It was not created for privacy. We don't want it for privacy. It's just for being able to deal with the problem that we were losing IPv4s in the 80s, right? So we create this mechanism of doing a NAT. On top of that, it happened that, well, you cannot go in easily because NAT is stopping you. But the privacy should not be only based on that. That being said, in IPv6, there is no mechanism because we don't want that, because we want everything to be connected, which I agree with you from the privacy and security point of view is a little bit weird. It's not bad because you need to remember, okay, I'm not going to go there, but remember that IPv6 addresses are created all the time. So you can have things in your home that have IPv6 and they can connect out, but maybe not in, and the IPs are rotating every minute. So there is a lot of, in this sense, privacy things incorporated, but anyway, each thing in your home will have a public IPv6. Doesn't mean that it's reachable, okay? But roughly there, complicated. Okay, so, and I wanted to say that in IPv6, there is no IRP, thanks God. We don't have IRP anymore. And when I say God, I mean von Neumann, right? So we have Neighbor Discovery Protocol. That is the protocol for actually discovering hosts in IPv6. So we have some variants, router solicitation, router advertisement, neighbor solicitation. This is for you to see. We are not going to be looking here. IPv6, other protocols for finding computers, okay? Network advertisement, yes, and redirect. We are not going to see a lot of this because we don't have IPv6 usually a lot, so we are not going to go deep ones. In here, I can say that the AI view is actually making a difference because we have many fuzzing protocols, finding vulnerabilities in protocols using AI. So this is a thing that is happening. I encourage you to go and read, and AI is going to make a difference, okay? So, testing methodologies. We are going to be, okay, perfect. From here, there you go. So, we have two methodologies to end up, and have two methodologies to end up, the penetration test and defend mechanism, and then something else that the rest of the thing will tell you. So I will leave here. Unfortunately, I need to go, and Ondra is going to take over.
So can you hear me?
Ready?
Yeah.
Perfect.
While we are switching.
Sorry, somebody won the whistle. Who was the whistle? You did? There you go, whistle. With you. Woo.
So while we are, actually, I'm plugging in. Do you have any questions regarding the protocols? No. Any questions or comments?
I can answer some questions from the internet. The StratoCyberLab challenges you can solve anytime you want. They will be there on your computer. Remember that the CTF-D notifications channel is only for CTU students. From the StratoCyberLab, you can solve locally. Just keep track of what you solve, because if you force recreate the containers on the StratoCyberLab, you lose the state of the challenges that you solved, okay? There is also for CTU students and MOOC students, there is the bandit challenges that were listed on the webpage that you are encouraged to do all of them because they will be very useful for all the assignments and all the things that we see in class. So if you didn't do that yet, you can check our website, and in the requirements, you will see the bandit challenges, and then you can solve all of them. They are public, and they will give you very useful skills.
Okay, thanks. So we will close the class with talking a little bit about testing methodologies, because this is something which is very important, especially if you work in the field. So we want to give you a little bit of guidelines of how we should and should not behave when we are doing this. We will start with penetration testing methodology, which is something we will kind of use in the class, but in a little bit less restrictive manner. In the real pen test, you always have a client, so somebody hires you to do the pen testing, right? And that's kind of the key to everything. So usually sign a contract, and the contract states very clearly what you can do and cannot do. Very often you are focusing on some specific aspect, so you are not allowed to just roam around and try and probe everything, but you are testing very specific part of the, let's say, the system, very specific app, etc. In this case, you have also different levels of visibility. Sometimes you have white box, you have like kind of access to everything, you know about all the systems, you can probe into them, you know the processes, etc. Or sometimes you don't know anything, so you are literally like in the position of the attacker. You have to discover all of it, you have to find out, and then you can use it. Also, sometimes you have access to the premises of the client. Often you don't, you need to connect over a network. But your purpose, and you are hired to find all the vulnerabilities, which is a big difference, because if you're attacking, usually you only need one, right? You find a vulnerability, you exploit it. We will see how in the future classes, how we are finding them, how we are exploiting them. And sometimes that's enough for you. But if you are pen testing, you should find them all, right? Somebody hires you to find all the loopholes and all the problems with their system. And once you find out all of those, you need to report back, right? It's not only enough to find them, you need to very clearly say where they are, how did you find them, and report back to the client, which is something we will not do in this class a lot. However, if you are taking part in the bonus assignment, we will require you to do that because we need to check your progress, but also we want to know your thought process and how you approach the problem. For the rest of the assignments, we don't force you to write a report, but in general, it's a good idea to report your steps, either for the purpose of replicating, or if you, in case something breaks down, and the question is, what did you do? It's usually a good idea to have some log or some report to say, oh, I did this, and then the system broke. Okay, so our simplified penetration testing methodology in the class will be as following. We still would like you to document your steps. It doesn't have to be very thorough, but you need to know what you did, and you need to be able to show that. So if you are working on something, it's a good idea to record the commands that you are using. That can usually just copy it in the document, or at least make a screenshot, right? Ideally, with the output as well. This is particularly important at the end of the class when you will be taking the exam. We would force you to do this. We will want you to show us not only the result, but also the path how you reach that, because it's very important for us to test, to evaluate that, to see what steps did you take. And sometimes there are multiple paths to the correct results, so we want to be able to check that. So document everything. The second part is the plan, right? So often you need to specify, okay, and we will also give that information to you, which IPs you can scan, which IPs you can attack. We've already seen this today when we told you you can attack within the Docker network and from outside to the Docker network, but not the vice versa, right? We want you not to attack the internet because, first of all, we should not do that. Second of all, our network administrators will kill us if we do that. So please, don't do that. It's really bad, and well, we wouldn't be able to actually give you the cyber range if we keep attacking the internet. So define your goals, define the plan. If it's only to find vulnerabilities, if it's testing a specific system, if it's if you can get access to the system, or if you maybe can take some data out of that, right? Often when you find a vulnerability, you are able to exfiltrate some of the important data out of it. So all of that you should plan, and also going back to the previous point, to document that you were able to do that, how you were able to do that, and potentially if this leads to another step in the methodology to how did it help you to move forward. So recognizing the attack surface, this is actually the content of the next class, if I'm not mistaken. We will be talking a lot about how we are doing that. Basically, that means finding hosts, servers, applications, basically mapping the surface to see what are we working with and where to focus in the next steps, which is this point number 4, identify services to attack. So out of all the scope that we discover, we prioritize and we see what is the highest like which one has the highest chance for that particular goal we have, and we focus on that. Finding the vulnerabilities, planning the attack. Why is it important to plan the attack beforehand? Why cannot just go with the flow? Any thoughts on this? There will be someone probably defending it. So what does that mean for me as the attacker? That I should be quick. That's very good. I should probably not repeat a lot of the steps, right? Because a lot of the time I try to run some exploit. It's very likely that this activity will be logged somewhere, right? Somebody might detect it. So this often raises some alarm, some alert, and somebody will go and check on, well, in the better scenario, they will just see that something is going on. In the worst case scenario, they will fix it and I cannot go back again. So that's why the plan matters, right? I need to be very clear what I want to do and ideally be very swift in the execution. So that's something to have in mind. Yeah, consider detection measures exactly for that. Escalation of privileges, next step, sometimes you can get access, but for next steps of the attack, I need more. But again, it's a good idea to plan if I actually need to escalate privileges. There are multiple ways how to do that, but often I don't need to. And if I don't have to do that, well, it's probably good that I don't, so I don't give the defender more chance of discovering me. Once I get in, I usually want to get persistence exactly for this purpose, that if they stop me from block or fix the issue with that was enabling the exploit at the first place, I can still get in. Right? So I get a foothold and I want to keep it in the system. Then comes the lateral movement. So I usually move around, maybe to next server, next service, next account if possible. That depends on the task of the penetration test. And then comes the last part, which is the exfiltrating of data, right? I discover something, I want to take it out of the system, maybe analyze it on my device because it's less dangerous, I can go back to it, I don't have to do everything in one go. And last but not least, usually we want to hide our tracks, right? Not to leave any traces behind, clean everything if possible. That means cleaning the logs, discarding any leftover data that I left in the system. And once I do all of it, remember still we are doing the penetration test, so we want to report the results. And all of these steps should be somehow mentioned in the report, so it's clearly visible and it's possible to go and basically replicate the attack to see what steps did I take and
yeah, I want just to add, why do we care so much about the reporting? Because when you work as penetration testers, if you don't write a report, you don't get paid, and you probably want to get paid, right? So you have to report it. You have to write it so other people can fix the problems that you identified. So we are going to stress this a lot during the year, and the more that you practice, the better are you going to end up after the class, yeah?
Okay, we are about to close in a couple of minutes, so I will speed up. As we already discussed, the penetration testing methodology is not exactly how attackers attack. Usually you have more time, you have like more, when you are attacking you can, well, you are less restricted, let's say, but there are also techniques that attackers would use and you as a ethic penetration tester, you would not, like blackmail, stealing credentials, etc. We also have a defensive methodology. It's a little bit harder to define because, well, let's face it, defending is the harder part of the two, right? You're always one step behind, so you are like kind of trying to react. It's very hard to predict what the attackers will do before they do it, so you can get ready to it. So generally, you want to be prepared for a lot of situations. You want to evaluate the assets and the potential dangers, and work a lot on the monitoring and detection, right? The sooner we can detect the attack, the sooner we can react, and we close the gap between the attacker's first move and our reaction. Related to that is the recovery improvement. So once something happens and we detect the incident, we should be able to recover from that first, but also learn some lessons out of it, right? So we want to know what happened, how did it happen, so we can fix it, so it will not repeat in the future. So we want to take our lessons out of that. Okay. Last but not least, we have a comparison in here. I think that those interested can go in detail and compare the different phases. In the interest of ending on time, I will skip it and go to the last part of the class, which is the assignment. So first assignment this is for the CTU students. So first assignment is basically getting you accustomed to the infrastructure. It's for 1 point, but there will be a Pioneer Prize for that. So whoever finishes the first will get a Pioneer Prize next week. There is a file containing a flag somewhere in your class Docker. Your task is to find it and submit it in the assignment 1 in the challenge. In the CTFD, the assignment will open tonight at 9, so you have plenty of time to go home and maybe rest a little bit. The deadline for this first assignments, actually first 4 assignments will be at the end of October, so we want to give you plenty of time to finish them, not to force you to work on the assignments every week. However, as Sebastián previously mentioned, we encourage to do the assignments as soon as possible because they are tied to the content of the class, and sometimes you might forget something, you need to go back. It's generally designed so you would practice the skills and knowledge that we cover in the class in the following assignment. And so this is the first assignment. Questions regarding assignments? Anything unclear? For the online people, there are some challenges in the StratoCyberLab, so you can work on those. However, there is no CTFD for you and no ranking, and sadly no Pioneer Prizes. OK, and the last thing we want to say is there is a link to feedback. Basically, we want to know how was the tempo, how did you like the class, so we can improve for the next week. So if there is something that you would like to change, please give us a feedback. On this, it's anonymous, so don't be afraid to be very detailed and very much on point if something wasn't to your liking or there was something that you think there is a room for improvement.
And remember that for the CTU students, there is a specific channel in Matrix only for you, so you can ask their questions that you have on your Dockers or assignments. If you're asking something about the assignment, make sure that you're not spoiling the challenge for someone else, okay? If you think that is going to spoil it, all of you CTU students have like a specific channel that is you and the 7 teachers. Always grade there, never grade one-to-one, okay? Because sometimes we need someone of us is available and that person will answer, right? So if you have questions, if you can ask in the main channel of CTU students, the better, because other students can benefit from the answer. If it's going to spoil the challenges or something, then you can answer. You can ask in the private channel. Okay?
I want to add one more thing on top of that. Don't be afraid to ask if your question would spoil the assignment or is something we want to test in the assignment. We will tell you we cannot give you the answer. So it's always better to ask. Than the other way around, that you're struggling on your own without any support, right? If we cannot provide the answer because it's part of the assignment, we will tell you. So don't be shy to ask. This is it. Thank you very much for attending. Thank you, people connecting online.
Yeah, thank you for the internet. For the internet, remember that you can always ask questions on the channels, and specifically for the SEL on the SEL troubleshooting.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Is it.
See you next week.
See you next week.